not seen a fighter with the style of Seniesa Estrada.
You standing face to face with the destroyer.
She wants to be undisputed at 105 pounds.
You think you ready for the smoke?
The super bad era begins right now.
You standing face to face with the destroyer.
This is what I was born to do. This is my destiny, and you cannot stop destiny.
With the big left hook. How about that right-left combination? She's letting her hands go. She's multitasking with the left, the right, upstairs and downstairs. She's catching her coming in. Big right hook. Here comes Seniesa Estrada. All offense, no breaks. I'd be such a little woman hit so hard. Super bad with her cape.
The sun has set here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's been a very hot summer day, and things are just getting heated up inside the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms in Las Vegas on what is a big week in combat sports. The ladies are headlining tonight, but first, Rohan Polanco and Carlos Balderas, a pair of top-ranked prospects in action this evening. Also, our co-main event, Andres Cortez taking on Xavier Martinez. That's a fight that could definitely steal the show tonight. And then the ladies in the main event, Seniesa Estrada taking on Leonela Yudica. I'd like to welcome you now inside the Pearl Theater at the Palms Hotel and Casino. I'm Christina Poncho, joined by my broadcast partner tonight, Michaela Mayer. And Michaela, before we get into some early action inside the ring, your thoughts on our main event tonight. Two women that are obviously familiar with one another, becoming world champions and studying tape on each other. It's got a good scrap here in the main event.
I'm excited for this fight because I think it's going to challenge Seniesa in a new way. She's used to fighting girls that come right at her. You know, they're smaller weight, so it's always very high intensity and action-packed rounds. But Yudica is a boxer mover, and so Seniesa's going to have to go to her, close that space. She's a taller boxer, the longer boxer, and so Seniesa's going to have to be smart, close that space, and you know, not get hit on the way in with her counter punches. So she knows that. She's been working on that, cutting off the ring, and working on the skills to sort of, you know, go against someone who she hasn't really fought before, someone tall and long, and they have a different game plan than what she's used to.
All right, so more on our main event to come as we trek along throughout the night, but we're going to give you some bonus coverage right now. Let's just get to some fights. There's already fights on the undercard taking place. Abraham Nova against Jonathan Romero. You look at here at the tail of the tape, obviously Romero 7 years older than Abraham Nova, both the same height, but the reach advantage goes in Abraham Nova's favor. We're going to pick it up in round two. There is Abraham Nova's mascot. That is not the man himself. Indeed, I don't know what weight class that would be for the mascots, but look, I give him all the props in the world for being his own #1 fan and bringing out a mascot for himself. He said, look, I used to play football and other sports where there was mascots. Why not in boxing?
He said he originally was trying to think of an animal.
He did say that, yes.
Mascot. He said, what animal would I be? He couldn't think of one, so he just said, I'm just going to be myself.
Yep. Abraham Nova, 22-1 with 15 KOs. That lone loss came via devastating knockout to Robeisy Ramirez back in June of 2022. Since then, he returned in January of this year, defeating Ada Blue Nose Lopez, who most recently was in the ring with Oscar Valdez. And right now, he has Romero backed up.
Good right hand back Romero right up to the ropes.
Nova is in the red trunks with the white trim. And he just caught a right hand from Romero. Oh, and Romero's wobbled. That looked like it'd be counted a knockdown, like the ropes held him up, but instead he continues to fight back.
Romero has a lot of experience. This is his 37th fight, so he's been in the ring. I'm sure he's been hurt before. He's not going to be an easy one to take out.
And part of that experience included winning a world title fight. He is the former IBF junior featherweight world champion. one successful defense before, or excuse me, lost that belt in his first defense of that world title.
Really good array of punches from Romero, digging down to the body, coming up with the uppercut, back to the head. You definitely saw that he was hurt earlier in this round, but he's recovered quickly and he's fighting back.
And in fact, he just fought, or excuse me, Romero hasn't fought in over a year, 15 months to be exact, but yet showed in that instance that he's well conditioned and prepared for the task at hand in Abraham Nova. Nova getting a warning here to pick the punches up a bit.
Looks like Nova might have punched himself out a little bit in this round, trying to use the rest of the rounds to recover, get his energy back, since Romero did not back down.
Nice exchange there.
Good counter right hand from Romero.
Nova, big right hand there to start that flurry of punches as he's got Romero backed against the ropes. Romero egging him to come forward.
It's smart of Nova. Once he got Romero up,
Oh, big uppercut! Drops Romero in round 2.
5, 6, 7, 8. Step over.
he took that whole break, waited for the last count to stand up, which is smart, honestly. People stand up too soon sometimes.
10 seconds left in round 2. Beautiful shot there landed by Abraham Nova to hurt Romero for the second time in that round.
Rushing in, no good. Trust me, all those opportunities are going to be there the whole fight.
I think
But it
the
starts with
mascot
this.
likes what he's seeing so far as Nova scores a 10-8 round. And let's take a look at the shot.
Really good uppercut, right uppercut, left. He finished with the left hook just to be safe, which is what you should always do. He didn't need it. The right uppercut caught Romero right on the chin. Straight up the center as Romero was opening up for that left hook.
Beautiful timing on that uppercut from Abraham Nova. And it's almost like Michaela, the hook came automatically, although it didn't connect. As we get ready to start round 3.
You can hear Nova's corner saying to stay on the jab, keep it high, keep it low, mix it up. That's what's setting up all his punches. Nova has a really good long, sharp jab.
Double jab right hand, finishing up with the stick there in that combination. Right hook connects on that exchange. Another left hook connects there for Nova. Big shots landing to start round 3.
Now Romero's got Nova back into the corner. Nova's picking the shots. He's not getting hit with anything flush, but still not a safe place to be. You don't want to be there because, one, you don't want the judges to think you're retreating. You don't want to look like you're getting hit. And a few of those uppercuts have gotten in there from Romero. Just not good for that ring generalship category when it comes to the judges either. Bad for
You're back
ring
to the corner.
And just dangerous. Dangerous to be leaned up against the rope trying to pick shots, especially with someone like Romero who's throwing an array of punches. Isn't super technically sound, but throwing a ton of different types of punches from every angle.
So now Romero spends some time up against the ropes as he's egging Nova to come forward. Nova scored that knockdown in the last round, round 2.
Romero's really showing his experience here. You can tell he's a veteran. He knows when to fight. He knows when to cover up and block. He recovers quickly. Good body shot from Nova.
Oh, nice right hand connects as well after the jab.
Nova's Romero's really got to stay on his jab. He has a really good one, just like that. Double jab. Let the right hand drop right behind it.
Body shot with the left hand. And he eats a left from Romero there. Body shot lands for Romero with the right hand.
Romero's dipping and moving and rolling and really working his defense right now. And what Nova should be doing is not headhunting, because he's going to roll and he's going to slip and he's going to try and miss. He's got to invest in the body and dig to the body.
Another shot drops Romero.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And the fight is over. Knockout victory for Abraham El Supernova. 2 knockdowns scored. The second one caused at the end of the fight. Romero cannot get up.
I might have spoke too soon, because Nova just landed a beautiful right hand to the head.
That knocked him out there.
Yeah.
Do your dance, do your dance. Mascot's fired up. But you know what I like too, and what you can't see right now, but we can see is, you know, Nova just told everybody, all right, calm down, walked around the ring, thanked everybody, and is not celebrating too much. He's not up on the ropes to meet his team. He's happy to get the victory. But you know why that's his demeanor? Because he knows that he wants to be, and he feels that he belongs in bigger fights against better opposition. He feels like he's still climbing his way back from his loss to Robeisy Ramirez. He's now up a weight class. He's like, this is what I was supposed to do. That's how he feels.
I agree with that type of celebration, because, you know, you see a lot of these guys in the beginning of their career jumping on the rope and celebrating, but that's what you're supposed to do, especially at this stage in your career. You did what you were supposed to do, and when you know you have even bigger fights in the horizon. Great overhand right. He came right over Romero's jab, caught him right on the temple. We'll see it again right here. Comes right over the jab. Didn't really hit the chin, but hit right on the temple, which is just as dangerous, just as effective.
That was the second time that Romero was down in the fight. He was down once in round 2, and then the stoppage there in round 3 as he could not beat the count. We'll make this one official in the ring with our ring announcer, Mark Chinook, and then we'll get to the 4 fights that we showed you in the open of the broadcast. Rohan Polanco taking on Cesar Francis. That's coming up next, and it's all leading up to our main event tonight, the WBC and WBA minimum world title defense for Seniesa Estrada against Leonela Yudica. And you can tell how much better Abraham Nova feels at 130 pounds than down at 126, where he took that loss to Robeisy.
Yeah, definitely.
This weight class suits him much better, and his strength.
Absolutely, and I think that also attributes to his response after the win. You know, he knows that he's coming off a loss, and he still has a lot to prove. And like you said, wants the bigger fights.
Theater at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. This bout comes to a halt at 2 minutes, 47 seconds of round number 3 for your winner by knockout, Abraham Supernova!
Abraham El Supernova now 23-1 at the pro with 16 knockouts. That one done early night for him. Let's take another look at it. There's the right hand after he kind of just threw the jab out there, didn't connect, but a beautiful shot with the right hand gets the job done.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part about throwing a lazy jab. The jab is the most effective punch in boxing, but if you throw it lazy, you don't throw it right, and you got someone who's good with their timing and is catching you right over the top.
I'm sure he would like to take a big step up and perhaps, you know, fight for a world title this year or within this next year. So it'll be interesting to see how the top ranked matchmakers match him at 130 pounds. And he'll be watching Valdez and Navarrete, no doubt, coming up in August. But we'll take another quick look at how this one got down. I mean, Romero showed that he was in great shape and that he was game, but Nova was just too much for him. There's Nova coming forward with the flurry of punches there.
Big shots, and Romero did his thing in moments too. He was definitely, you can see his experience, you can see that he's a vet. He's been in there with a lot of great guys, but he just took a lot of big punches. A few of them he came back from. This is a beautiful right uppercut from Nova. Attempted to finish with a left hook, which is textbook, but the right uppercut did it for him. You know, a few times Romero had Nova in the corner against the ropes. Not the best place for any fighter to be. I don't like it. But like I said, Romero was no pushover. He did have some great moments in the fight. Good jabs from Nova. Big overhand right over the jab. The punch that finished the fight.
I mean, Romero was as game as he was going to be, but you could just tell that he just was outmatched in this matchup, if you will, by Abraham Nova. And I think that lends itself to what we talked about earlier. Nova knowing what he came here to do and what he feels like he was supposed to do. And that was walk through a guy like this and show that I'm somebody that wants to compete at the upper level of this division against names that more boxing fans would recognize. No disrespect, though, to Jonathan Romero. It's just,
right.
He wants that world title shot. Speaking of world title shots, that is what Leonela Yudica is trying to accomplish tonight. She's getting one, in fact, fighting the unified minimum weight champion, Seniesa Estrada, who herself is a 2-division world champion. What do you like most about this matchup, Michaela?
Well, first of all, we all know Seniesa comes out swinging. She's got an extremely high punch count, and she's a big puncher, too. You know, this time she's not going up against someone who's going to match her toe-to-toe. Leonela Yudica is a boxer and a mover first. She's a taller, longer boxer. She comes with the longer reach, more height. She's also coming up from a higher weight division.
Yep.
You know, we'll see. She did have to come down a lot for this fight, but she said her last fight was at 107, so she basically maintained because she saw this fight coming up. So kept her weight down. But, you know, we'll see if that power translates. She looks like the bigger girl in there, but Senesa's going to have to close that space and get inside.
All right, for a little more on the 2-division world champion, Seniesa Estrada, take a listen.
I love Seniesa. She's a sweetheart, close with her father, and I love the bond they have and her journey throughout the sport. And proud of her to see what she's accomplished, and she can whoop some ass in there. One day, I believe we were at the same gym, and we sparred a few rounds, and it was a lot of fun. And she took it easy on me.
It was fun sparring with him. He's a huge boxing fan and is a very, very decent fighter. He's good. He's good. He was saved by the bell. I'm just kidding, Mario. You didn't bring your hand wraps, huh?
No. It's super cool hanging out with her. It's basically somebody to look up to, a good example and stuff.
It feels great to be able to be that person that people can watch and look up to and see that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. You can accomplish your dreams no matter where you come from.
Make a snap. Turn.
I didn't really understand that it was such a big deal to be a female fighter from East LA who is living her dreams. It seemed strange and odd to a lot of people because they're not used to seeing that. It was a struggle. It was a struggle to get where I'm at today. But I think that I really changed the minds of so many people.
Lots more action coming your way.
up. Headshot after headshot. Short right hand. Let the celebration begin. Another big body shot. Damaging left hand comes in. And a knockdown scored. What a beatdown.
Sticking him on the outside. And here comes what a finish. Bruce Shoo Carrington.
Those highlights never get old. I love watching knockouts. And you know what? We might see one in this next fight because Rohan Polanco and Cesar Francis know how to throw some hard shots at 140 pounds. In fact, Polanco 9-0 with 5 KOs, but he does pack a serious punch in one of the prospects at 140 pounds. He was an amateur standout as he represented the Dominican Republic in the 2020 Olympic Games. And we're going to get to some highlights of Rohan Polanco. But in this matchup that's taking place here at the Palms in beautiful Las Vegas, in what has been a huge fight week here for multiple reasons. We've been here earlier this week to call the Naoya Inoue Stephen Fulton fight overnight, here tonight, and then tomorrow the big welterweight fight between Crawford and Spence. I mean, you can feel the energy and the vibe in the city. It's heated up quite a bit. Literally, too, it's over 105 degrees outside.
No, a lot of big fights back to back. Great couple weeks for boxing.
Rohan Polanco, as I mentioned, 9-0 with 5 KOs. Cesar Francis, 12-1 with 7 KOs. What are you expecting from this matchup, Michaela? We had a chance to talk to Polanco yesterday.
Yeah, Polanco's he's an interesting character. You know, he seems really dedicated, really focused on his craft. He lives in the gym.
Literally?
Literally lives in the gym. He says there's a place upstairs where he sleeps, and then, you know, goes downstairs to train and is pretty much back and forth in the gym all day long. I mean, how could you not be if you're living in the gym? So you can't get more focused than that. That combined with obviously his amateur pedigree and everything he's done with the Dominican national team. So I expect a great performance from him tonight.
So they will be making their way to the ring shortly. And then next up we will have Carlos Balderas, another Olympian, this U.S. Olympian, 14-1 with 12 KOs. He's up next against Nahir Albright. And then our co-main event, Andres Cortez taking on Xavier Martinez in what should be a really solid main event. I'm excited about that matchup. And then our main event, Seniesa Estrada looking to defend her WBC and WBA minimum weight world titles against Leonela Yudica. Let's take a look at the weigh-in for Polanco and Francis yesterday. There is the Rain Man, as he calls himself, and El Rayo Polanco.
8 rounds in the junior welterweight division.
They didn't even let him touch him up. I guess they had to wait till tonight.
So, you know, the biggest difference here, I think, would be, you know, almost a 10 years age gap between the two. And then also Rohan Polanco, a very strong amateur background. Came from the Dominican Republic, a national and Olympic team. And so maybe a little bit more pedigree there. Going against Cesar Francis, 12-1 with 7 KOs. Both seem to have decent knockout power. But also Cesar Francis coming in with a slight reach advantage.
Francis is coming off his first and only career loss in his last fight, looking to get back in the win column. That is the newly built Sphere here in Las Vegas. Some really cool graphics have gone on the Sphere that is owned by Madison Square Garden. There's going to be a concert taking place, and I think we'll even see a boxing match in there eventually.
That would be amazing. Right? I would love to do that.
Headlined by Michaela. Yeah. And everyone's excited to see you back too. I know you've been working, training here in Las Vegas, getting ready for hopefully some fight news to come soon.
Yeah, it's a lot of training here in Vegas. I'm loving training out here. A lot of the boxers have been out here doing a lot of training. The UFC PI is out here, and a lot of boxers are doing their strength and conditioning and treatment there, physical therapy, all kinds of things. So it's just a great city to train. There's so many boxing gyms, so much sparring, so much work, and then you can just come down the street and go to the fight. So.
And just walk outside and make weight, because you know it's 117 degrees out there. So easy peasy. And let's take a look at some of the upcoming bouts that we have on the schedule. Up next, after a couple weeks off, we are going to Glendale, Arizona for Manuel Navarrete taking on Oscar Valdez. That battle at 130 pounds should be just fire in the desert. And then Archer Beterbiev taking on Callum Smith in Quebec. Then for the third weekend in a row, Jared Anderson right back to it. I feel like it was just yesterday we were in Toledo for his hometown debut, and then Luis Alberto Lopez, the champ, taking on Joet Gonzalez September 15th in Corpus Christi, Texas. That Navarrete Valdez fight, though.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but yeah. I think that's going to be one of the best fights this year.
And making his way to the ring first is the Rain Man, Cesar Francis. 33 years old. He's Panamanian by descent, but resides currently in Brooklyn, New York. Strong wins on his resume. As you see there, he defeated Ray Beltran by unanimous decision back in 2022, July of 2022. And coming into this fight off the first loss of his professional career against Jesus Saracho in what was an upset at the time because he was undefeated. Two judges scored that fight pretty close, 96-94, but the third had it much wider, 98-92. So he lost that fight on all three scorecards by unanimous decision. Tonight, he'll take on El Rayo, meaning lightning, Polanco out of the Dominican Republic. He's trained by Hector Bermudez, who himself was a former amateur boxer and has pretty much been working and training fighters even since he was 13 years old. And Michaela mentioned him living at the gym. That's because it was an old firehouse that they transformed into a gym. So upstairs where the firefighters would sleep and rest on their 24-hour shifts or 36-hour shifts, they made those into bedrooms. And then where they would park the fire engines and all the equipment, they made into a boxing gym.
I mean, kudos for that, because I know when you're in a hard training camp year after year after year, the last thing you want to do is sleep where, eat, sleep, and train in the same place. It's a lot. It's a lot to be in the gym constantly. You gotta be mentally strong to have to sleep and live your life in the gym that you're constantly grinding in.
That's dedication. Polanco was due to make his top-ranked debut in January.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the Palms Casino Hotel Resort here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum. Brought to you this evening by AutoZone, Get in the Zone, and by Bud Light, the official beer of celebrations. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Our judges at ringside, David Hudson, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Steve Weisfeld. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Robert Hoyle. Introducing first out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 141.8 pounds, wearing purple and orange trunks. His record, 12 victories, 1 defeat. 7 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Brooklyn, New York, but representing San Miguelito, Panama, Cesar Rainman Francis. Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 142.9 pounds, wearing a blue, red, and white trunks. His record, perfect. 9 fights, 9 victories. 5 of those victories coming by way of knockout. In the summer of 2021, he represented his country at the Tokyo Olympics. From Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Rohan Rayo Polanco.
Pick up a little bit. Okay, we went over the instructions in the dressing room. Any punches here will be good. Aquí sí, okay? Any punches here will be good. I want you to obey my commands and give me a good, clean fight. Touch them up, scoot back. Pretty hard, right? Yep, I got it.
Robert Hoyle, the third man in the ring tonight. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayer here with you from the Palms Casino and Resort in Las Vegas. This one scheduled for 8 rounds at 140 pounds, the junior welterweight division. Polanco with the red, white, and blue trunks. Francis with the purple and orange and the flashy shoes. I like the shoes. I'm a fan.
Yes, I love the whole color coordination there for Francis.
You are a fan of, you know, fight colors and sticking to the theme.
Love my colors.
I know you do. It's pink tonight for you and I.
Yes.
And we didn't coordinate or
nope.
plan. Great. Starting with the jab.
Polanco was saying one of the things he's been working on in fighter meetings, he mentioned that he is working on switching. He said that's what you see a lot of fighters do these days, switch back from orthodox to southpaw. So don't be surprised if we see him switch to lefty stance sometime throughout the fight.
Something that the fighter in our main event, Seniesa Estrada, does so well. Seamlessly switches from orthodox to southpaw.
Yeah, and she said she's going to really use that tonight when trying to cut off the ring with someone like Yudica, who is known to be a boxer mover.
Both fighters feeling each other out using their respective jabs. First half of this round, jab down to the body for Francis. There's the jab.
Polanco said he feels like he's settled into his pro style. He does have a very, extensive amateur background. He says he's settled into his pro style, and you can sort of see it just from his stance right now. That Philly shell, the one hand down, the right hand up. He's not square. And that's interesting because that's definitely not a style you see in the amateur. So something he's definitely changed.
Well, he's a big fan of boxing in general. He watches boxing all the time, watches a ton of different styles, a lot of fighters on YouTube. And if you live in the gym, right, literally living in the gym, you can see something you like, go downstairs, practice, watch yourself in the mirror, shadow box, work with your coach, see different styles that you can utilize against different types of opponents.
Exactly, and he hasn't fought in 8 months, so he says that's what he's been doing in the gym, just having fun, practicing new things, and not necessarily focused on having to get ready for a fight, but just having fun and getting better.
Welcome up there.
Nice left hand connects there for Polanco. Slow start to this scheduled 8-rounder. Definitely both fighters looking to establish a rhythm. Let's take a listen to the corners. There is Hector Bermudez in the Polanco corner.
Tiene que go. And do the feints too. You gotta do the feints too. Do the feints, keep walking to your right. You got jab, feints, they come back with the hook. So your right hand got to stay up. Yeah. So, take that jab to your body while you move to your right, throw that left hook, throw that right hand. But don't strain it up, but don't go behind the punch.
Trata de ponerle presión también al referee. Hay cosas que este tenga que vigilarle.
The waving of the towel technique in the corners. Little fan action there.
Keeping this fighter cool.
And you heard the Francis corner talk about following up the jab with the hook. He's like, I need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, his corner wants that strong stab to Polanco's stomach, and then come up to the head with a left hook, right hand.
There's the jab to the stomach, doubles it up there.
It makes it difficult doing that against someone like Polanco, as long as he knows how to use that shell that he's doing right now, that position with his hands. You know, that's what Mayweather does. It's really hard to get in. It's hard, if he's good to pick that hook, block that right hand, block that jab to the stomach, it's really hard to get into that tight defense.
Unless your name is Naoya Inoue. Yeah, you showed that against Stephen Fulton on Tuesday in that clip that's gone viral of a shot that was very similar that he landed on Fulton when Mayweather fought as well in that same kind of shoulder roll defense. There's a strong jab there from Francis that connects.
If Francis wants to get through that guard of Polanco, he's going to have to incorporate some feints. Lots of jabs, not blind him with that jab, not let him know what he's going to throw. Make him go reach to block something or to roll with something and catch him with something else unexpected. So lots of feints.
Polanco also being a bit cautious, not really throwing many combinations here through the first round and a half of this fight. He's changing levels on the jab, but not really coming with even the right hand there. Finally throws the right hand behind it there. Double jab, right hand, left hook. Now he picks up the action.
Yeah, it's a style we've all seen, what Polanco is doing right now. We've all seen it because Mayweather made that style famous. But you don't see a lot of fighters do that these days. I'm curious to see if he stays disciplined with it and pulls off the win doing this type of style. But so far, he's keeping a tight shell. He's not getting hit with anything. He's got a strong sharp jab. And he's opening up his combinations.
He got caught with the left hand right there from Francis. Francis timing that shot perfectly.
This corner yelling at Francis, he's there for it. I assume they mean the left hook, right hand.
Right back to the jab, do it! Come on, see.
Polanco reacts to his own shot there as he's looking to force his way in against Francis. Strong jab from Polanco.
Come on, see. Look, the right hook. 10 seconds. There we go.
Right back, strong jab, right hand lands for Francis to the body.
There we go. There we go. Keep touching.
Look back into the Polanco corner.
¿Está bien? Te tiene que salir fuera de centro. Está mucho ahí. Este está tratando de controlar con el jab, el cuerpo tuyo afuera, dándote con el jab de él.
Agua.
¿Está bien? Respira. Más variación, porque es más que tiene las mismas cosas, siempre, las mismas cosas, él no cambia.
¿Qué quiere que haga ahora?
Arriba, abajo.
Okay.
Right? Fuera del centro.
All the way back, all the way back.
Round 3, this one's scheduled for 8 at 140 pounds. Top-ranked prospect Rohan Polanco, 9-0 with 5 KOs. Cesar Rainman Francis, 12-1 with 7 KOs. Francis coming off the first loss in his professional career.
You can see Francis letting that jab go a little bit here and there, but there's not a ton of power behind it. It's almost like he's afraid to really step in because Polanco is sitting back waiting to counter with big shots.
You said jab. Why you standing in front of him for? Keep moving to your right. They're making him one in fight. Keep moving to your right. Yeah, keep moving to your right. There we go. Keep moving to your right. Use that jab now, top, up and down. Fake him.
Both fighters waiting to counter, and that shot lands and scores for Polanco.
Time to go now. Hands up.
What do you think about the posturing here, Michaela?
It's interesting. You know, it's a little defensive for me. It's not the style I came up with, but I can appreciate it. I understand what he's doing. I don't think he's doing a bad job. It's a slick little style. He's pulling it off well. I mean,
especially when you can land a left hand like that. But the combinations for me are few and far between. I think if you picked up the activity level, these rounds, the distinction between the scoring in the rounds would be a lot more obvious.
Right, and it's not a 12-round fight. It's an 8-round fight. So he's got to pick it up here soon. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and wait to see this fight play out a little bit. But definitely needs a little bit more offense, especially someone like Francis who is looking a little bit hesitant here. And I think Francis right now, when you have someone sitting back and being defensive like that, you've got to keep jabs in their face. You've got to keep feints in their face. You've got to keep them off. You can't let them sit and time you and counter you. You got to push it back.
1 minute, let's go.
Make him uncomfortable. Break him out of that shell.
There we go. Come on. He wants to fight. Let's go.
But it's a really sharp jab from Polanco. I mean, that's a sharp, hard jab.
And it's scoring almost every time he throws it. He just doesn't come with much else behind it, at least not on a consistent basis.
There we go, do it again.
Here he comes, the big overhand right, left hook.
We working, Steve. Let's go. Let's go, Steve.
Almost when they open up, they both punch at the same time. When they do more than just jab. Like Francis is trying to catch him, Polanco, while he's throwing.
10 seconds.
Yeah, you know, another fault to this type of style is it's not as crowd pleasing.
There we go.
I can't disagree with you there, as some people have made their gripes known in the crowd here, but they'd like to see a little bit more action. Finally, Polanco threw the right hand behind the jab.
Yeah, Polanco, I mean, the stiff jabs to the stomach, stiff jabs to the head. He's leaping in with a big hook, and once in a while, a big right hand left hook in which he almost switches stances and comes forward with that back leg, just like he does right there. Really throws everything into it. Here he is, that Philly shell blocking the jab.
And this is called the judge's view. We're getting this graphic from the domestic broadcaster here in the United States, but it just goes to show you wherever the judge is sitting, you see shots differently. Some judges can see a shot landing clearly. Other ones, their view is blocked by the ref. Other times, their view is blocked by the ropes or by the other fighter. So in that view, that was 3 different angles of a shot, and 2 of them you can't even see if it landed or not.
Yeah, very true. But I mean, what they're doing right now is they're staying in the center of the ring where all the judges can see them. So they may all have a different angle. But this is the best place to be for all the judges to see what's going on.
Really, Francis starts to try to let his hands go as his corner encourages him, saying he didn't like it. Let's go. Let your hands go. Changing levels on that jab is Francis. Downstairs now, back up top. Yeah, comes with the right hand scores on that combination.
I think the key for Francis right now is to really pick up the rhythm, not let Polanco know when he's going to punch. So more rhythm, more top body movement, more jabs, more combinations.
Polanco also doesn't get his right hand, like his punch completely turned all the way over either. Kind of slaps with that shot sometimes.
Well, if you watch him, every time he throws that right hand, he brings his back foot with him. Not that punch right there, he's sat, but when he moves forward and throws that right hand, his back foot comes with him.
And so for those listening, what's the issue with that?
Well, it's throwing you off balance. I don't think you're getting the full power into it. If one of your legs is off the ground while you're landing a punch, you're not grounded. You're not getting the full power off in that right hand. Also, if Francis were to take a step back when he throws that right hand, Polanco will be flat on his face.
I got opposite.
Yeah, Francis' corner even telling him to sit down on his shots there. Oh, nice left hand right combination lands for Polanco. Down to the body with the right hand lands for Francis. Double jab, right hand left combination for Polanco. Finally some action the last minute of round 4.
Another good tactic for Francis in this fight would have been to learn how to take that space. And every time Polanco came to step in, he takes the space back. He's got the height, he's got the reach advantage, but he doesn't necessarily know how to use his space. He's standing right in front of Polanco, not using any fakes. He's right there to get hit.
And he did with the right hand from Polanco, which briefly staggered the legs of Francis. Some blood coming now from the mouth of Francis. As he takes the right hand, that drops him in under 10 seconds of the round.
Okay. Let's go.
Right at the bell.
Talk to us. What's wrong? What's wrong? ¿Ah? ¿Qué pasó? Háblame.
What's going on? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Talk to me. What? No. Relax.
Big right hand over the top from Polanco. Again on the temple. Sort of bumps him off. Just comes right over the top of his jab with that right hand.
He was already kind of going back from that left hand and then off balance, and then he gets the right that sends him right into the ropes, smacks his head up against that rope.
Yeah, he sort of let himself get bullied on the inside, let his feet come together.
And I'm not sure his team is urging him to continue, and I'm not really sure if he wants to continue fighting, Michaela. We're sitting right in his corner, and his team looked ready to pull him off the stool, excuse me.
Yeah, you know, even though Polanco's right hand is a little unorthodox, seeing as he brings that back foot behind, one thing it does do is it gets him to the target a lot faster. So Francis doesn't realize, maybe not thinking that Polanco's in range to land that right hand, and because he takes that step with his back foot, he's suddenly inside a lot quicker than he would be if he didn't do that, if he didn't bring that back foot with him.
Right hand connects to the body there for Polanco.
Maybe this is what he meant by switching. He's switching back and forth because he only ends up in a southpaw position when he throws that right hand. It's not necessarily something he does, you know, in between his combinations, switching back and forth.
Well, even switching his not only his stance, but his defensive style as well, because now he's got the high guard, not the shell. And down once again goes Francis. He looks at his corner, and honestly, Michaela, I don't think he really wants to fight too much longer.
6.
He's giving him that eye.
Hey, come to me. You want to continue? You want to continue?
I don't think he wants to continue. He's not answering the question. And then says what, but
you got to listen to me.
He's got to answer the referee, and that's what Robert Hoyle is telling him right now. You need to answer me. I've asked you 3 times if you want to continue.
Yeah, the ref was clearly asking him the question over and over again. He was continuing to look at his corner like, help me. I'm ready to get out of here.
No fighter himself really wants to say no mas.
It was almost like he didn't want to say it. He just wanted to read his eyes.
And Rohan Polanco has now earned his 10th pro win with 6 knockouts now. And it just got to the point where, you know, Francis just, after the knockdown, it was a strange turn of events because he was in the fight for the most part until the knockdown. And then after that, when he came back to the corner after that round, you could just tell that he was done, that he was uninterested and felt like he was looking for a way out.
It's a very interesting style from Polanco, and I'm like really curious to see him fight some more, see him go up against maybe some tougher opposition and see how that style works, because like you said in that last round, he switched up his style. He got out of that shell and he started pressing forward and hunting his opponent down. So he obviously has more to show. He obviously has an array of tools up his sleeves and different things that he likes to do. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him fight some other opposition soon.
Yeah, right when that knockdown happened, the second of the fight, Francis was down at the end of round 4. That was round 5. He looked directly at his corner as if to say, like, please help me out. I am overmatched in this situation. Looked at his corner again, looked at his corner as the referee's talking to him, looked to his corner some more. Then the referee calls it, and then he puts his hands up like what? Like,
he didn't look at the referee one time when the referee was clearly in his face, holding onto his body. So, good call from the ref there.
And Francis, after starting his career at 12-0, suffers back-to-back losses and is now 12-2 in his 6-year pro career. As Polanco flexes for top-ranked photographer Mikey Williams. And like I said, now 10-0 as a pro, 6 KOs. We're still going to make this one official with our ring announcer Mark Chinook, and then move on to another top-ranked prospect, Carlos Balderas, taking on Nahir Albright. That's coming up next. Here is Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms Hotel Resort Casino in Las Vegas, this bout comes to a conclusion at 1 minute 5 seconds of round number 5 for your winner by technical knockout, Rohan Rayo Polanco.
And your winner via TKO in round 5, Rohan Polanco, 10-0 with 6 KOs. His manager, Gary Hyde, very happy, and they're working on getting him a special visa so that he can stay here in the United States, bring his son over, and continue to work on his craft. As we take a look back at some highlights from this one before we move on to the next. It was a jabbing affair early on in round 1.
Yeah, which I believe Polanco got the best of. A really strong, sharp jab to the stomach and to the head. And then it was hard for his opponent to get that jab inside that tight defense that he has. A little offensive for me in the beginning, but once he started to see his punches were landing and you know, got the knockdown a couple times, you saw him sort of change his tempo and start walking him down. Good shots to the body. A good array of punches. You know, I think he's a really great prospect. And like I said, I'd love to see him tested against some other opposition, because I just feel like there's so much more he can do that we didn't get to see in this 8 rounds. That was the final right hand. Put him down, and
but you could just tell at that point he just did.
He looked straight at his corner.
And didn't have an answer, right? Didn't have an answer for what he was going to do. Kind of held that jab out there, trying to just keep him at bay, But it was at the end of round 5, between 4 and 5, we're sitting in his corner and we could see his body language and everything change. So at that point, he didn't almost want to come out even for round 5, and then they ended up, you know, one more knockdown, and the fight gets stopped. So congratulations to Team Polanco, 10-0, 6 KOs. I'm sure we'll see him on another Top Rank card again very soon. So before we get on to our next bout, everybody loves action and loves some highlights. Let's take a look at some of these Top Rank highlights.
Drives down, a lot of blood coming from the nose of Kampa. Headshot after headshot, short right hand. Let the celebration begin. Another big body shot. Damaging left hand comes in. And a knockdown scored. What a beatdown.
Sticking him on the outside, and here comes the captain. What a finish. Bruce Shoo Carrington.
Mom didn't want you boxing.
Mom didn't want me boxing.
She's right.
Yeah.
Who the hell would want this for their kid?
For a long time, it was really difficult for me to understand why my mom wasn't supportive. And now that I'm older, I totally understand. We've had so many talks over it, so many talks about my career throughout the years, because of course every mother, their concern is their kid getting hurt boxing. But not only was she concerned about me getting hurt, but I'm a little girl in a male-dominated sport. So her other concern was, how are you gonna possibly make a career, make a living out of this? And I would always tell her, I would say, like, Mom, this is what I'm gonna spend my life doing, and I'm gonna be successful at it. I'm going to be able to make a living out of this.
Here comes Seniesa Estrada. She's letting her hands go.
I was born to fight. I just always had that fight in me. I was always fighting in school. My brother knew that I was a good, tough fighter, so I remember every time we were at like a family gathering, he would always challenge other kids and say, I bet you my sister can beat up your sister. I bet you my sister can beat up your brother. and we would fight, and yeah, I would always win.
We hope you enjoyed that look into the personal life of Seniesa Estrada. I mean, she is a fantastic fighter, but Michaela, you can speak to this too as a friend of hers. She's an A+ human being. She's a great person to be around.
Really is. And, you know, I've been wanting Top Rank, obviously, to sign another female for years since I signed with them back in 2017. But it took a while, and I literally could not be happier. I think they chose the best fighter, the best female to come on board. We're best friends immediately, so, you know, always good to have other good energy around you, especially just being in the position that we are and the place that women's boxing is.
Yeah, she is one of the top pound-for-pound females in the game, #1 at 105 pounds, and the #6 ESPN female pound-for-pound. But surely a win tonight could help move her up that list. But coming up next, a guy that would love to be on that list one day, Carlos Balderas, the 2016 Olympic representative from the U.S., 14-1 with 12 KOs, taking on Nakir Albright. Here's a look at some weigh-in footage from yesterday. Now, Albright, no problem making the 135-pound limit, but the same cannot be said for Balderas, who came in 0.9 over the lightweight limit of 135. So after some discussion back and forth with the teams, and I'll get into that in a minute after we take a quick look at the tail of the tape.
Carlos Balderas versus Nakir Albright. Both similar in age, similar in height. I think the biggest difference here is Carlos Balderas is 14-1 with 12 KOs, so he has a ton of knockout power compared to Albright's 7 KOs, which still not a bad knockout ratio. We'll see if Carlos can get another knockout tonight. We'll see if that weight cut had any issues with how he performs.
Right now, Nakir Albright making his way to the ring. 15-2 with 7 knockouts. He's a 6-year pro. He's been a veteran at this weight class, 135 pounds. He had a good amateur career before he turned pro, and in fact has some deep roots with his family in the boxing ring. Both his father and his uncle, who his father and his uncle are twins, were both pro boxers. He also has a brother that boxes, a cousin that boxes, and a sister that's a professional wrestler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the whole family is involved in boxing or combat sports. And up next will be Carlos Balderas. And earlier this week, we had a chance to talk to Carlos. Take a listen.
For the fans that are familiar with me, the reason why they should root for me is because I'm an exciting fighter. I'm an explosive fighter. I mean, you've never heard anybody mention my fights being boring. Who doesn't love a knockout? You know, fans love knockouts, and I've been getting knockouts with headshots, body shots. You name it, both hands, explosive with either hand. It could finish with the left, it could finish with the right. And I don't come here for no paycheck. I come here to win.
Carlos Balderas fighting out of the central coast of California, Santa Maria to be specific, and he was under the tutelage of his father and Buddy McGirt, but has since made the move to start working with Robert Garcia. This is their technically 3rd training camp together, but 2nd professional fight together. They were together for his last fight in November, which he won in the 8th round by TKO. So they've had a couple more camps and they have had fights. And I was speaking to the weight issue earlier when we saw them on the scale. You heard him come in at 135.9. So he had to negotiate not only a hefty monetary salary, but he had to re-weigh in today. At 11 a.m., he could not weigh in more than 150 pounds when it came to rehydration. So that was another limit that was imposed for him, missing the weight. He had no problem with that, agreed to the terms, and made the weight, and here we are.
Inside the Pearl Concert Theater here at the iconic Palms Hotel Casino in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. Presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum, and brought to you this evening by AutoZone. Get in the zone. And by Bud Light, the official beer of Celebrations. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Our judges at ringside, Lisa Giampa, Chris Migliori, and Dave Moretti. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Kenny Bayless. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, presented in association with Rodney Rice's RDR Promotions. He weighed in at 134.1 pounds, wearing white and black snakeskin trunks. His record, 15 victories, 2 defeats, 7 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Sicklerville, New Jersey, Nahir Woo Albright. Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 135.9 pounds, wearing black with gold trunks. His record, 14 victories with only 1 defeat. 12 of those victories coming by way of knockout. In the summer of 2016, he represented Team USA at the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. From Santa Maria, California, Carlos Balderas!
Okay, gentlemen. Trucks are good on both sides. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in just one. Again, I will caution you. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up, coach.
Kenny Bayless, the third man in the ring tonight. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayak here with you from the Palms Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. And what has been an incredible week for the sport of boxing, culminating tomorrow with a big fight just down the street in the welterweight division. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford for the unified welterweight undisputed champion of the world. And both of these guys would love to headline a fight of that magnitude one day, but fighting on the eve of a big night, not a bad situation. Everyone excited to be here, as am I, as are you, right, Michaela?
Yeah, and I'm excited to see Carlos Balderas tonight. I really want to see if this weight issue he had yesterday is going to play a part in his power today, which is usually very very accurate with his knockout ratio and very successful there. But I really do believe Carlos Balderas is a great talent. I was on the Olympic team with him in 2016. We went to Rio together. Since then, he's had a little bit of a slow start in his pro career, but nonetheless, his only loss is to Rene Tellez-Guerrero. And other than that, he's had 12 knockouts in 14 fights. So I would hate to see him lose his position because he can't get the weight situation under control.
Or maybe he just needs to go up in weight.
That too, because this is not the second or third time that this has happened.
And at 26 years old, perhaps weighing 135 in the frame on your body with where it was when you started your career. I mean, he's been at 135, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much since he turned pro. Perhaps it's time to head north to 140, unless he can be more disciplined in between camps, which I don't think has been the easiest thing for him either.
Yeah, I guess that's the question, right? Is he outgrowing the weight class, or is he just not being disciplined enough? Because I know he does have a great team around him. He is working with perfecting athletes, which is the best in the business. I know firsthand. And they get you on weight. They do what they have to do. And if you don't make the weight, it's something that you did, something that you didn't listen to. So yeah, we'll see. He's going to have to come up with that decision on his own after this fight. Decide whether he needs to move up or not.
Nice combination. Hand speed on display from both fighters. Albright, too, showing some good work on his punch variation, throwing some shots down to the body, back upstairs. Back to the jab goes Albright. Strong jab for Albright as Balderas looks to land to the body.
Good jabs from Albright. Yep. He's popping Balderas right in the center of the nose.
Yeah, he's having a really nice start here in round 1.
That's going to be key to keep that jab in Balderas' face. And you can see Balderas shifting from side to side at moments. So, you know, a way to counter that is Albright has to make sure that jab goes right at his chest, not at his head, or he'll slip it, but right there at his chest. No matter where he goes, he slips to the left, he slips to the right, it's still going to hit him.
You can see Carlos' hand speed on display as he counters and connected with the left hand. But a lot more action coming from the fighter out of New Jersey in Albright. I had to say it like that.
Is that the middle name?
It's his nickname.
Respire, luego, agarre deep breath.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
Luego, deep breath, otro.
Let's take a look at Robert Garcia in the Balderas corner.
Así mero. ¿Cómo sientes la fuerza del muchacho?
Stab a little harder, right? Yeah. We're gonna win one round at a time. Okay. One round at a time, baby. Don't worry about the rest of the fight. One round at a time, right? He's starting to come over top. All right? I know. Come over top, right? Give me the high power.
Déjesela caer seguido, la derecha por arriba, ¿eh? No ansioso, no desesperado. No quiero que lo hagas porque te estoy diciendo, hazlo cuando mires el opening, ¿ok? ¿Sientes bien? Lo ganaste. Porque conectaste buenos golpes, 2, 3 golpes buenos, que no fue suficiente. Él no te conectó con nada, ¿ok? Ok, eso sí, no me deje de mover el cuerpo. Ahí les va. No me deje mover el cuerpo, ¿eh? No me deje mover el cuerpo.
I mentioned Nahir Albright's nickname is Woo, and that is his nickname because he said that every time when the crowd watches the fight, they get ecstatic, they get excited, they're like, woo! That's exactly what I was thinking. And said it must have come from the gym, some slick sparring or something. Either that or I thought maybe it was Ric Flair-esque, but no. Round 2 scheduled for 8. Nice double jab, right hand, and then over the top comes Carlos Balderas.
That was really good move from Balderas because Albright attacked, and instead of sitting and playing defense, Balderas came right off and caught Albright pulling back.
Albright, nice hooking shot around the gloves there of Balderas. Jab to the body for Balderas. Balderas again to the body with the jab. Nice counter shots from Balderas as backed up Albright.
Balderas is really good at coming right off of Albright's punches. So after Albright lets his combinations go, he cannot pull straight back. Balderas is right there ready to counter him with a left hook, right hand, a 1, 2, 3 to the body just like that. He's got to either take an angle or take his feet with him, but he can't just lean back like that.
Albright back to the stick, changing levels with the jab. As Balderas looks once again to hook with the left hand around the guard of Albright as he comes with the 1-2 and just misses.
That was a good adjustment from Albright after the combination. He took a step around, got out of the way.
Nice work back and forth between these two. Double jab, right hand. Uppercuts, 3 in a row there from Albright. Constantly making Balderas think by staying active.
Yeah, Albright's a little bit busier, but when Balderas lets his combinations go, he has a lot more intention behind them. So Albright's got to be sure not to get caught with something. He's got to bring his hands right back to his head after he lets those combinations go.
Body shot scores for Balderas. Back around, nice work with the left hand from Balderas. Double jab, right hand from Albright as he snaps the head back to Balderas there.
In front.
We have the benefit of punch stats now starting with this fight, and taking a glance after just the first 2 rounds. Albright has thrown 143 punches in those 2 rounds compared to just 64 punches for Balderas. The difference is, although Balderas has been a lot more economical with these shots, because of that, he is landing at a much higher percentage. 38% of Balderas' shots are landing, was 21% of the shots for Albright. But I know that throwing 155 punches in those first 2 rounds are going to do a lot, you know, to get the judges' attention.
Yeah, and he's not going to match Carlos for power or speed, really. So his best bet is to stay behind his jab, let his combinations go, and you know, maybe a knockout comes, but hopefully get the win on points, because he's got to keep his defense tight, because when Carlos throws his combinations, you hear it.
It looks like Robert Garcia is looking for his charge to use a little bit more of his feints. He wants him to keep moving forward, maybe feint first and then let his hands go. So we'll see if he can put that into action here in round 3. Double jab for Albright.
Yeah, that's some good advice, because you can see that Balderas is getting hit with some shots from Albright. If Albright had a little bit more pop on his punches, it would, you know, it wouldn't be as good. It's not smart for him to stand right in front of him. He needs the feints, because he's the shorter fighter. He's got to be able to close that space.
Oh, nice right hand scores, albeit Balderas taking it well. Scoring punch nonetheless for Albright. And turned and shot his right hand, and now some blood coming from the nose of Balderas.
Big shots from both of them. This is right where Balderas' corner wants him to start feinting. Not just freeze, not just hold the earmuffs high, but feint before he attacks.
Balderas looks to shoot the uppercut inside, misses there, down to the body goes Albright. Just out of range there, that counter from Balderas.
Yeah, Albright's missing that counter from Balderas, but only by a centimeter. He's got to be careful with that.
High work rate for Albright is giving Balderas a little bit of fits as he shoots the right hand. Balderas has the power to erase everything with the shot, don't get me wrong, but he's having to work tonight.
Yeah, you know, really good game plan from Albright, just keeping the punches in his face. He doesn't want to get too greedy. Keeping those combinations, 3-4 punches, that's it. Don't get too greedy, because you know Balderas is looking for the big counter.
Albright has 2 losses on his record, and those only 2 losses, one was in his pro debut, and the one was in the fight before last against Jermaine Ortiz, which is a very skilled fighter in his own right. At 14-0, was undefeated at the time when they fought, prior to him fighting Lomachenko. So, uppercut lands there as Balderas gets Albright on his back foot.
Albright's got to stay in that distance. It's a perfect distance for him. Balderas can't hit him from there. When he gets greedy and gets in close, then he's in Balderas' territory. He's got to keep turning, good turnout, but then he's sort of cutting right back to Balderas' power hand. He wants to keep turning.
Balderas having some success here the last 30 seconds of round 3. But the combination punching from Albright and the way he's mixing up his punch selection likely has him in front here.
I agree. Jab, uppercut, hook, body shot. He's using a little bit of everything.
What does Carlos Balderas have to do, Michaela, to kind of get himself, you know, obviously we don't know how the judges have What adjustments would you make if you were in his corner, talking to him?
Well, he is a shorter fighter, so he's a little bit flat-footed right now. He's just waiting with his hands high, waiting to make that counter. But he's got to lure Albright in. He's got to feint him more, just like his corner said. Feint him. Don't just stand right in front of him with no movement and your hands held high, because you're going to eat the jab all day, and he's going to keep you out there with his reach. I don't know if he's a little flat-footed right now because maybe the weight, he's starting to feel it a little bit, and he's trying to reserve his energy for his combinations. Or if it's just part of his strategy, part of his game plan, he's just looking to break Albright down. I mean, I do think Balderas has a lot more power. You can just hear his punches.
Yeah, they definitely move Albright back when he does land.
It's just going to take one punch land perfectly on Albright's chin to end the fight. So, you know, maybe Balderas knows something we don't.
The two losses in Albright's pro career were both at the distance. He has never been knocked out as a professional. So that would definitely be something that would be a first for him. He's never even been knocked down as a pro, but Balderas does have the power to do so, as you see some of that on display there, and then down to the body with the left hand.
Balderas has a really good jab too. I don't think he's using it enough. He can fight Albright back with that jab just as good, if not better. But instead of fighting the back of the jab, his hands are high and he's being defensive.
And exactly to your point, Michaela, I can hear Robert Garcia telling Carlos to jab from the corner.
That's a great jab
there. Some swelling a bit over the right eye of Albright. There's some more combinations coming from Balderas as Albright pitter-patters at the gloves, and then a big left hand comes in, and Albright almost trying to show that he can roll with some of these shots.
Yeah, I mean, they're not landing flush. He is rolling with them. I think one thing that would disguise Balderas' combinations a little bit more is staying behind that jab.
30 seconds to go here in round 4. Body shot lands for Albright. Good fight between these two back and forth. I mean, it's kind of what do you like?
It is a good fight, and it's a good fight for Balderas to have, because he's going up against someone who has good boxing skills.
Sure does.
And he's having to think and adjust. It's time for him to make an adjustment.
And there is Seniesa Estrada, undefeated, 24-0 with 9 KOs. ESPN's #1 ranked in her weight class, looking to defend her WBC and WBA minimum world title in our main event. And then in attendance tonight is the IBF and WBO champion in the same weight class, Yokasta Valle. Estrada wanted to fight her tonight, Michaela. That's the fight that she wanted, but for what she says is promoter reasons, there is a look at Valle.
Yeah, that's the big fight for Seniesa. You know, that's what's going to unify the division and pick an undisputed champion.
And she brought the heat. She said, I'm #1 on BoxRec in the division. I'm #1.
Well, it's time to prove it and make the fight. It's time to prove it and make the fight. You know, I know there's a lot of things that stand in the way of getting a fight done. Is not always the fighters.
Sure. But I don't think Golden Boy, in Seniesa's defense, she said that her promoter, her team has tried to reach out multiple times to make the fight, but that they don't feel like Golden Boy is ready to make the fight with Top Rank yet. They said maybe next. Maybe next, and that's what she says. The answer they keep giving her.
Hopefully, because if not, Seniesa's prepared to move on. You know, she doesn't want to wait around. There's other big fights for her in the bigger division. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that fight done next.
Yeah, her dream is to be undisputed in multiple weight classes, and that fight with Valle needs to happen at this weight class in order for her to do that, or she'll move up. Right now, we got a good fight through the first 4 rounds between Carlos Balderas and Nahir Albright. Albright's been the busier puncher. Balderas has been the more hard-hitting puncher. You can hear Albright's corner to the right of me just telling him to stay busy, because that's where he's having the success. You know, Balderas is waiting, picking his shots a little bit more, but Albright's keeping him off of him with the jabs and the quick combinations. Not necessarily a ton of power. He's not loading up on everything, but he's keeping Balderas off him nonetheless. Work rate slowing down just a little bit here for Albright. As it looks to land a right-hand counter. Scoring punches there for Balderas with the lead left hand. Yeah, Albright's got to make sure he brings his hands back to his head after his punches now. He can't get lazy because Balderas is looking to come right over the top. Double jab for Albright scores. His corner looking for him to throw the right hand after the double jab as Balderas catches him with the lead left. That's exactly what his corner was calling for, and he scores again, Michaela. You know, he's landing the 1-2-1. They're not round decisive combinations. You know, he needs to have a little bit more sting on them. Because when he lands the 1-2-1 and then Balderas comes back with the power shot of a right hand left hook, it sort of steals their engagement. It kind of makes him win that exchange. Thank you. I got your back. Yeah, I knew it. And coming up next, Andres Cortez, the man you're seeing right there, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, taking on Xavier Martinez in what should be a solid fight for our co-main event. It was one when I saw the bout sheet. I mean, I didn't know this one would be as entertaining as it was now, but I expect the next one to be. Yeah, very entertaining. You know, on paper they seem to be very evenly matched. I know Martinez has had his issues outside the ring, which he was very open and candid with us in the fighter meetings, but seems to be really confident now. Said he had a really great camp. Now he's ready for this fight. Andres Cortez, 19-0 with 10 knockouts, but he is an aggressive come-forward fighter, and he told us that he sees himself winning in our co-main event by knockout. And you know, you don't find a lot of fighters that, you know, they say, oh, I'm gonna knock him out, but when you really put him down to it, they're like, oh, if the knockout comes, it comes. But he's like, no. He said by round 5. I said by round 5, I'm gonna get him out. Duly noted, sir. That's coming up next in our co-main event. For now, we have a good scrap here. This is round 6 of the scheduled 8 between these two 135-pounders. Carlos Balderas signed with Top Rank just about 2 years ago now, after suffering the lone loss in his career and having some promotional issues with his previous promoter, manager, etc. Took a layoff between 2019 and 2021, and has since then racked up 5 wins and is looking for his 6th consecutive here tonight. But Albright didn't get the memo. He came here to fight, and that's what he's been doing. He did, throwing 200 more punches than has Balderas through the first 5 rounds of this fight. Albright is fighting a very disciplined fight. You know, he's making a few mistakes, getting hit with some things, but for the most part, he hasn't let up on his jab. He hasn't let up on his combinations. You know, he's doing his best to keep the space and keep turning and not engaging with Balderas. And Michaela, when you're in a situation where you as a fighter maybe have a weight cut that was rough, it didn't go as planned, or it was really difficult, where do you feel like it affects you more during the fight, or affects you most? If he did have a weight cut problem, he's going to feel it right about now. He came in over, so yeah, that part's obvious. Obviously, but if it's going to affect him today,
which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes they get through it and they perform just fine. But it would usually kick in right about now, that 6 rounds.
Okay.
And so far, I don't see it phasing Balderas because he's looking like he's getting into his rhythm and coming on even stronger.
Right now he looks like he needs to cut off the ring and use that right hand, right? Because Albright's having his way working around the outside.
Yeah, and he's circling to the right. So obviously you want to cut off that ring by throwing your right hand in the direction that he's going. Let him run right into it.
But right now, the last 25 seconds have gone by, and Balderas just now throws a punch.
And Albright's boxing nice too. Look at him continue to step around, keep that jab in his face. You know, he just threw a jab and a hook to the body and then stay turning to the left. He doesn't want to stay there in front of Balderas. He wants to keep turning like that. Keep that left hand high. When you're turning to the left, you keep that left hand high. When you're turning to the right, you keep that right hand high. Because that's what Balderas should be looking for. Right now, he should be looking to come over the top with that right hand like he just did.
And there he backed up. Albright did Balderas, but none of those shots connected, just kind of similar there. He's got him moving back, but wasn't able to land. Albright misses with that combo. Back comes Balderas with the jab. And Devin Haney is in the building, your undisputed lightweight world champion. Speaking of lightweights, I don't know how much longer he's going to be a lightweight because he is going up, it's official, to fight Regis Prograis in his next fight. October 28th, he's going to sit down on the set and talk to the guys here at the local network ESPN about it. But he did petition to keep, though, Michaela, his belt at 135, even though he wants to move up to 140 for a fight. He doesn't want to vacate the WBC in particular.
I'm not necessarily mad at that if he comes back and defends them immediately.
So there has to be some sort of clause or agreement, right?
There has to be, because you don't want to be holding up divisions. If you're going up and you're challenging another weight class, fine, but you can't be holding up another division while you're at it. There's too many people gunning to be champions, too many people working hard day in and day out for that spot. And, you know, a fighter's lifespan doesn't last forever. So time is of the essence for a lot of these fighters, and if he can come right back down and defend it immediately and hold 2 belts, then, you know, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say in his likely first interview since that news became official today. So a lot of things going on around the boxing world, and we'll bring it to you as quickly as we can.
The only reason that might be an issue these days is people aren't fighting as much, you know, so if it's going to take you a year to come back down and defend your belts, then you're holding up the division.
Shakur Stevenson's like, hello.
Yeah.
I want a shot at that title. You're going up to 40. I'm here as the #1 contender at 35. Am I going to fight for an interim belt? I mean, they got a lot to work out political-wise, but I can understand his frustration as well. Back to action in the ring now. 2 minutes left here in round 7. 5 minutes scheduled left in the fight. Activity level has decreased in the last few rounds for Albright, but still keeping himself very much in the fight. Have you seen any adjustments being made by Balderas?
He's still doing similar things, you know, exploding with the big combinations, but he's still getting caught with stuff in between. You know, right now his defense is his offense, and other than that, he's sort of sitting there taking punishment. And like I said, Albright's not a big puncher, not as big of a puncher as Balderas, but nonetheless, he's scoring points, and Balderas is taking shots that he doesn't need to take. He's moved that head, keep the fakes going, which he has not picked up since his corner told him to start feigning. He's not started doing that. And keep that jab. Look how great that jab is. It's a stiff, hard jab, and he's just not using it.
Under a minute left here in round 7, and Albright's just continuing to work. Some blood now on the face of Albright, albeit maybe coming from Carlos's face as he dips under and then lands a left hook to the body. We haven't talked much about body work too much at all either.
Yeah, you can see Albright sort of whipping that right hook to the body from the outside a little bit.
Balderas gets in the left hand to the body on that clinch. Strong jab there from Balderas.
But Balderas could be letting those body shots go a little more, especially since he's ducking and trying to get under Albright's shots, trying to close that space.
Nice hooks there, strong shots from Balderas. Man, Albright's just standing right there each and every time.
You gotta give him his props. You know, he's defending himself really well against these big shots from Balderas.
¿Cómo siente? Condición, ¿cómo siente la condición? Okay. Last round coming up, right? 3 minutes, all we got, let's go. Give me a good finish, right? Don't let him steal the round, okay?
Reed, this is it, all right? I need you to dig down deep. Bring it, you gotta dig away with anything you got. You hear me? Yeah. All right, and go get it. Go get him, bro. Okay. Shoulder, butter. It's home. The uppercut's home.
As you can see, in fact, there is a cut right on the eyelid. Oh, that's a terrible spot because it's literally on the lash line there.
All right.
Not a lot you can do in terms of...
Yeah, interesting place to be cut.
Yeah, it's really unique, really down low there. Can't put too much in that cut or it's going to get right into your eye. As we have reached the 8th and final round, the fighters tap their gloves and they got 3 more minutes to try to settle this out, and both fighters' corners encouraging them that they need to dig deep.
Yeah, I heard Albright's corner telling him, go get him. Go get him. So he's been boxing and moving this whole fight, and now he wants him to sort of step on the gas, back him up, and try and secure this win on points.
Good showing from himself. Both fighters catch each other in that exchange and then hold.
You can tell Albright wants it. You know, he's stayed disciplined this whole fight. He stayed punching. He gets hit. He gets right back on the jab. He's letting his combinations go.
And one thing the Albright corner is telling him too is like, you know, saying like, you got this, we're in shape, keep working.
He is in shape.
And yes, he is. I was going to say, there's no denying that whatsoever. Over 500 punches thrown by Albright in this fight. He's only landed about 20% of them. But that activity level and that jab, I mean, he's continued to work as more blood is up by the right eye of Albright. The left hooks of Balderas have been his best punches of the fight.
And then he goes right back into that shell and just sort of takes punches instead of letting that jab go.
Albright is working. Those are scoring shots, and the crowd's not going to get behind him. They're favoring the California fighter as we're here on the West Coast, but that's a scoring shot right there to the body.
Uppercut, left hook, shots to the body. This is a hard fight to score because Balderas has been throwing the clearer, stronger power shots, but he hasn't matched Albright's punch output.
Agreed.
Not even close.
You're like, what do they favor? What do they like?
Exactly. It comes down to that also. You know, it's a very subjective sport. It just depends what the judges are looking for.
Under a minute left here in the fight as the heads come together, and Balderas is holding, continuing to look up at the screens, looking up to try to see how much time is left in the fight. Meanwhile, Albright's just getting right back to work.
Albright is trying to secure this win. I mean, he's doing what he's got to do. Balderas looks a little bit gassed. You know, you can't afford to be sitting back, taking jabs to the head and not coming back with his own jabs.
And if it's close, I mean, Carlos is sitting back this last minute and hasn't really been throwing a lot of punches, trying to muster up some energy for that combination right there, perhaps. But 10 seconds left in this fight. And again, it's a round where Albright has completely outthrown Carlos Balderas.
Yeah, give him that round. I'd say Albright won that final round.
I'm very interested to see how the the judges have this one scored, but this turned out to be a really back and forth type of fight, a lot closer than maybe it looked like it was going to be on paper. But I mentioned the only loss for Albright coming against Jermaine Ortiz, and then his
really good jabs to the stomach and the head. And he kept those punches up all night. Comes around with that right hook to the body, which wasn't super powerful, but again, it was scoring multiple times throughout the fight. Just busy with combinations.
Balderas shoots the strong jab there, but I mean, you kept calling for it time and time again, Michaela. It was efficient and it was effective when he would let it go, but it was far and few between. He would constantly just eat shots like that.
And when he did throw the jab, you're right, it was landing, it was working. So that was something that he should have seen. He should have kept doing, should have kept that jab on him. Instead, he got out jabbed. He got outworked.
It would definitely be an upset tonight if Albright walks out of here with this decision. He's fighting on the, home promoter's card, if you will.
I wouldn't be mad, though. I wouldn't be mad at the decision if they gave it.
If it went Albright's way.
Yeah, if it went Albright's way, I would not be mad at it because he wanted that win. He worked. He did what he had to do. He stayed disciplined. He let his hands go. And he didn't back down, even after the big shots that he took from Balderas.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds here inside the Pearl Concert Theater, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Chris Migliori scores the bout 76-76. Lisa Giampa and Dave Moretti both have it 77-75 for your winner by majority decision, Nahir Woo Albright!
Yep, he did it. He had done enough. A draw on one judge's scorecards and 77-75 both ways. And Nahir Albright comes in here and steals the win. I don't even want to say steals because he outright went out there and got it. He went in and got it tonight against Carlos Balderas.
And he did steal. He stole the win in that last round when he put it all on the line.
Fair.
If you want to put it that way,
fair.
yeah.
Sure.
Let it go.
Also would have been a draw.
And yeah. And he knew it was close. He knew he wanted to secure this win. He had to lay it all on the line that last round. He couldn't let 1 second go to Balderas.
And Balderas is going to have a lot to think about, perhaps staying at 135, perhaps moving up to 140, perhaps what he wants to do in between training camps and dates. But that's only the second loss in the professional career of Balderas after a 5-fight win streak. And that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for him, especially with how he finished the fight, to your point, Michaela.
Yeah, it really is. And I believe he does have the power to go up to another division to 140. But he's going to have to continue to add to his arsenal because the guys at 140 are strong too.
Yep, I agree.
And he can't just be sitting there taking jabs, taking shots. He got beat by somebody who didn't have a ton of power. Just outboxed him and outworked him.
And I mean, and some of that, I'm sure he's going to attribute to the way he felt. And there was a weigh-in today as well, so he couldn't rehydrate typically how he wants to rehydrate. He's going to have to decide really if this is going to be a lifestyle for him or if it's just going to be a job. But I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a fighter that is successful at the highest level that doesn't take this seriously 365.
Yeah, it's sad to see. I think Carlos is obviously a very talented fighter. You don't make it to the Olympics for no reason. You don't go 14-0 with 12 knockouts or 14-1 with 12 knockouts for no reason. Like, he's got the skill. He just needs to be able to put it together. He needs to keep learning, keep working, stay in the gym, stay focused on his diet, and do what he's got to do. Otherwise,
Albright came in here and knew exactly how he wanted to fight, and he stuck to his game plan. I thought maybe that punch output was going to get less and less as the fight went on, but it certainly did not. Hello? Let's bring you some bonus coverage while we wait for our next bout from earlier tonight in a fight between lightweights as well at 135. Subaru Murata taking on Juan Centeno. Subaru Murata is 4-0 with 4 KOs. Centeno is 8-3 with 1 knockout, and Murata is one of those guys where He's got a lot of skills, Michaela.
He does. And he trains at the gym, DLX, out where I'm training as well. Trains with Augie Sanchez, who is one of the assistant coaches for Team USA when I was on the Olympic team. So he's got a good team in his corner and just super, super strong and super young.
Yeah, he's still perfecting his style as a professional, but you can see that power has carried over most definitely as he scores a stoppage victory in this fight. There's the knockdown there. I mean, just with the uppercut through the guard.
Yeah, just really good timing. He's on his toes, lots of movement. He's far from flat-footed. Just a ton of energy and athleticism.
Fantastic performance. He's now 5-0 as a pro with 5 knockouts. He's another fighter out of Japan that you guys want to keep your eyes on. Here's a look at the weigh-ins from the last fight. That's Xavier Martinez. That is Andres Cortez. Both fighters making it under the junior lightweight limit, 130 pounds, as they didn't even let them get close to one another because Cortez was ready to get after Martinez, as you saw some of that from the press conference. Let's look at the tail of the tape, Michaela.
I like this fight a lot. Andre Cortez versus Xavier Martinez, both similar in age, both have KO power. Andres Cortez coming in at 19-0 with 10 knockouts. Xavier Martinez 18-1 with 12 knockouts. So definitely the potential for either one to end the fight here tonight by knockout. Xavier Martinez does come in with a 5-inch reach advantage, which he does box well with his reach. He doesn't just have the reach, he uses it well. And we'll see if he can get the knockout tonight against his opponent.
There is Xavier Martinez. Robert Garcia just basically took a jog across the ring, and now he's in the blue corner with his next fighter on the card. He is in the corner of Xavier Martinez. This is only their second fight together after Martinez made the switch from Ray Woods, who he had been with since he was 7 years old. And in the corner of Andres Cortez is his brother, Luis. And 9 of his 10 knockouts in his professional career have come inside
Ladies
the
and
4-round
gentlemen,
distance.
welcome inside the Pearl Concert Theater here at the iconic Palms Hotel and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum, and brought to you this evening by AutoZone, Get in the Zone, and by Bud Light, the official beer of celebrations. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the US WBC Silver Junior Lightweight title. Our judges at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and David Sutherland. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Tony Weeks. Introducing first out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 129.7 pounds, wearing red trunks with black trim. His record, 18 victories with only 1 defeat. 12 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Sacramento, California, Xavier Martinez! Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 130 pounds, wearing white trunks with gold trim. His record, perfect. 19 fights, 19 victories. 10 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending US WBC Silver Junior Lightweight Champion from Las Vegas, Nevada, Andres Savage Cortez!
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing room. Right here is good, right here is good. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
All right, Tony Weeks, the third man in the ring tonight. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayer here with you for our main event of the evening. This one's scheduled for 10 rounds, the US WBC Silver Junior Lightweight title, in which Andres Cortez holds on the line at 130 pounds. Cortez in the white gold trunks, Martinez in the red and black trunks with the black gloves. Stab jab to the body to start the fight for Martinez. Andres Cortez telling us in the fighter meetings yesterday that he's wanted this matchup since last year. He's had Xavier on his radar. He goes right at him, backing him into the corner here early in round 1.
You know, he said in the fighter meeting that he thinks he can knock Martinez out by round 5. So it doesn't surprise me that he's coming out strong, trying to back him into the corner, trying to take away that 5-inch reach advantage that Martinez has on him.
Down to the body with the jab goes Cortez. Xavier Martinez had 11 months off from the ring. He was scheduled for a fight in February, a fight in which he didn't even make it to the weigh-in day. He was over 5 pounds over the limit. He had a lot going on in his personal life. Fight was canceled, so that has led to an 11-month layoff. But he feels like he's in a really good headspace now. Made the weight no problem. Got with Robert Garcia. It's been a great camp. Feels really good and ready for what could be his toughest test as a pro.
Yeah, and I believe him too. You know, it's hard to come into a meeting like that and sort of just spill all your, you know, the life drama that you have going on and the things that really, to be honest, to really be honest with yourself about the things that that cause your loss and cause that setback for you. So he seems to have acknowledged it, recognized it, and made the necessary adjustments.
Not lost. Michaela, speaking to came at the hands of Robson Conceição back in January of last year. That was a devastating loss, he said, for him. He said he thought he was going to win that fight, had to kind of put the cart before the horse, if you will, in terms of buying a house and everything, because he really thought he was going to win that fight and be successful and lend itself to big paydays. But that just goes to show you it's got to be one fight at a time in this business. One fight at a time.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, and you know what, this sport of boxing is very unforgiving. We don't take losses well, and it's sometimes really hard to come back from.
30 seconds left here in round 1. Cortez landing a shot at the top of the head there of Martinez with the right hand.
Cortez just letting his hands go in this first round. Big combinations, lots of combinations, big shots. Martinez seems to be a little bit more reserved, taking his time. He's got a really good, nice long jab. He's very relaxed and just sort of feeling out Cortez, but he's got to make sure not to get caught with something big like that.
Listening to the red corner.
Hey, he wants that fucking hook, boy. It's off. Okay, stay sharp, stay smart, stay first, okay? Don't let him jab you. Don't let him fucking jab. Stay slick, stay smooth, keep feigning. Breathe. Control your breathing. Beautiful work, stay first.
Stop moving your waist. Let him land change and set him up with that left to the body or uppercut down the middle. It'll land. I'm telling you, it will if you do it right. Let him boom right here. Look for it, right? Okay? After, but don't stop using that jab. Keep that jab going, boom, up and down with the jab, okay? Seems like he even wants to move back, okay? Well, then go forward, but use the jab up and down, all right? Just use it a little more often, okay? Come on, let's go. Let's go, that's fine, let's go, come on.
Robert Garcia telling his charge exactly what shot to look for. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayer here with you. Would like to welcome all of our friends watching on Sky Sports in the UK and Ireland. Thank you for being with us.
You heard Martinez's corner telling him more jabs. He's got the better jab, he's got the longer reach, so that's obvious smart advice. He said jab high, jab low, mix it up.
And look for the left hand. He said shoot the left hand, uppercut or to the body through the middle. He said it's there, it will land. On a left hand right down the middle does Robert Garcia as he looks to counter with the right and misses.
Yeah, Martinez got to keep that jab in his face. You know, he's getting a little defensive and keeping, when Cortez comes to attack, he's dropping down, keeping his hands high, and that's good and all, but you got to be offensive also. You got to let that jab go when you have one. that is as superior as Martinez.
Cortez also, they talked about, Martinez's team talked about Cortez kind of fighting a rough style, kind of fighting even dirty, if you will, sometimes. And when he comes in and he tries to clinch, he throws shots to the back of the head when they're in close. And
there's the uppercut. Martinez just dropped in that right uppercut, which his corner told him to do. Cortez needs to kind of rush in.
And that's that shot I was talking about that they were looking for. It's a shot that he throws when he pushes down his opponent's head, and that's why you kind of even heard Martinez's corner plead for Tony Weeks to kind of down to the body goes Cortez.
Yeah, Martinez can't let Cortez outwork him on the inside. Second Cortez gets in there, he's throwing 3-4 shots to the body. And he's working.
Back to the jab goes Cortez.
If Martinez is going to walk towards Cortez like that, he's got to come behind his jab. He's got to come behind some feints. He can't just start walking towards Cortez.
Martinez corner telling him not to wait too much. Let's be first. Try to be first.
You can tell he's trying to counter. You saw it just now. He tried to keep his hands high and counter with that right hook. He didn't throw it, but he can't just look to counter. Cortez is too fresh. It's just the second round. He's moving in and out, punching in combinations. Catching and countering isn't something you normally do in the first, second round. You wait till
both of them banging at the 10-second bell back and forth. Listen to the corner.
From your distance, Cam. Because he's trying to catch and shoot, okay? Use a jab, but don't let him fucking time you. Go to the body as much as you can. Be fucking first. You're a much faster fighter. Feint, get your rhythm. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Control your breathing. Great work, bro. 2-0. That was a close round, but you got that round because you hurt him.
There's some of the tactics using the elbow and the forearm there that kind of got the attention of the Martinez side. They did tell us that they were going to warn for some of the tactics that they felt like were going to be utilized from Cortez.
And watch out when you
still
throw
going to fight the fight. And there's Devin Haney and made an appearance here and did an interview and making his way out of the arena or to his seat. I encourage him to stay and watch the action because we got a nice fight breaking out here. Round 3. As Cortez's brother in his corner also telling him to be first. Like, you're faster than him. You're stronger than him. Don't wait. Down to the body with the jab goes Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez got to do a little bit more than that. A little bit more than one jab. He's got to get a little bit more rhythm, a little more pep in his steps, because Cortez is coming at him like that. Martinez has to be ready to punch. He can't sit and wait and counter. He's got to be ready to meet him with shots. Keep that jab pumping in his face. There we go.
Xavier Martinez corner telling him, come on, be first. Come on, let your hands go, as he lets the combination go to the body, then finishes up top to the head. Then right back comes Cortez.
That was a good way for Martinez to meet Cortez coming in with some body shots. It's better than him just sitting and ducking and playing defense. He can't afford to do that in this fight.
Neither jab landing clean for either fighter there. Martinez trying to push the action. Cortez holds.
If Cortez knows that Martinez is just going to sit and duck every time he attacks him like that, then he's not going to he's not going to instill any fear in him. He's going to keep coming and keep landing combinations on him. Martinez got to either keep that jab or meet him with shots coming in. It's just a fraction too late.
And Cortez, for as much as he's pushing the aggression, a lot of his shots aren't landing very clean either. Not a lot of clean punching between the two.
Not a ton of clean punching, but you do see that Cortez is outlanding and outworking.
And the CompuBox numbers are reflecting that now through 3 rounds. Landing at a slightly higher percentage and throwing about over 30 more punches than has Martinez. Round 3 in the books. He's listening to the corner.
Usa el jab, güey, as much as you can. Keep touching them, just keep touching them, bro. All right? Hide your power behind the jabs. Stay slick, stay smooth. Yes, Andres. Keep flicking it. Stay a little bit more busy. Great work. And get off the fucking ropes, okay? Those left uppercuts in on him, baby. Left uppercut. Come on, boy.
Take a step back and come back with 2 or 3 punches down the middle. Don't look for just 1 punch. And if he backs up, then cut the ring, start with the jab low, and then come with the 3 punch combinations. Don't just look for 1 hard punch. Come on. Let's go. Show me that you want this fucking fight. You know how important this fucking win is. So then come on. All right? Let's go. Show us a little more. Come on. You gotta stay busy, all right? Come on.
Martinez's corner telling him you can't just look for 1 big punch. You gotta let your combinations go.
Almost yearning for some urgency from this fighter, trying to fire up his fighter a little bit.
Yeah, Martinez just a little bit too relaxed. You know, maybe he's working his way up. It is a 10-round fight, but a little bit too relaxed. You got to keep that jab in the face and look for more than 1 punch, like his corner says.
Good combination, letting his hands go there by Martinez. Martinez uppercut, lands a left hand there. Back to the jab goes Martinez.
That was a good combination for Martinez. And Martinez is the longer fighter. He has a 5-inch reach advantage. There's no reason why Cortez should be that close to him before he decides to let his hands go. He should be able to keep him at this range.
Stunning shot there from Martinez. Just misses with the uppercut. You see that shot from Martinez. Looks like he's trying to land the right uppercut, Michaela.
Yeah, good attempt at the uppercut. Again, that's 1 shot. Should have finished with the hook.
Stop.
Cortez back to the jab. Martinez right there to go to the body, and the left hand lands there for Martinez.
Martinez is meeting him now. That jab, that right uppercut, right to the solar plex.
Martinez continuing to come forward. Maybe hurt him with that left hand in that earlier exchange. Cortez retreats back to the corner. Again with the left hand for Martinez.
I think Martinez definitely stung Cortez with that uppercut to the body.
Martinez looking to gain some momentum here in round 4.
Stop.
His best round of the fight so far.
You can see Cortez sort of retreating now, backing up. I don't know if he's recovering from a body shot or if he's just feeling Martinez's power.
Stop. Stop, I got you.
Cortez is closing that space quickly. It's taking Martinez a little time to figure out that timing. He's closing that space before Martinez is able to drop that hook to the body. He's got to get that timing down a little bit better. And let those body shots go a little sooner.
Alright, hey, we lost that fucking round. Give me the water. I got the water, hold on. Breathe. Breathe. Hey, it's a close fucking fight, but you can win this shit, boy.
Really good left hook from Martinez.
That shot landed flush, and you could tell it caught the attention of Cortez there. Right there. Boom, timed it perfectly.
Come on, champ. I need you to lock in. Focus in there. This is your fight. This is your fight, but don't get hit with no dumb shit. You hear me?
Put those 7s and 8s in them. That midsection.
Interesting
How do you feel?
commentary from the corner, and it's something that they mentioned in the fighter meeting, saying that the direction in Cortez's corner, Martinez's team said this, the direction in their corner isn't necessarily strategic. It's more of a hyping them up. And he just said, this is your fight, don't get hit with any dumb stuff. But not necessarily direction on how to do that.
And I think right when he got back to the corner of the round, he even told him, like, you lost that round. Let's see if Martinez can pick up some of the momentum he garnered from his best round of the fight, which was the last round, round 4.
I think Cortez feels Martinez's power. You know, he didn't land a whole lot in that first 2 rounds, and Cortez was coming forward, jumping on Martinez, but then he feels it now, because look at him inching back, being a little bit more weary of running into any shots with Martinez's.
And both of these guys are not really knockout artists by any means. I mean, Xavier Martinez has a 63% knockout percentage. Cortez has a 52% knockout percentage. So almost half of their fights end in a knockout, despite Cortez telling us that he was going to knock him out after the 5th round, or in the 5th round. Here we are.
This is the round.
No, stop.
See, that jab from Martinez stops anything coming in from Cortez.
There's a body shot with the right hand.
He keeps letting that go.
Yep.
He keeps letting that right uppercut go. That body shot.
Strong jab, right hand scores for Martinez. Cortez with the jab. Cortez on the retreat now as Martinez comes forward. Cortez looks like he's trying to land that one big right hand as Martinez catches him again. Down to the body with the jab goes Cortez.
Martinez very relaxed here. I think Cortez looks a little bit more flustered. I think it's because Martinez has sneaky power. I think his power is
deceptive, right?
Deceptive. I think he's punching a lot harder than what it looks like. Seems, yeah, what it seems.
When typically Cortez, he is usually the one continuing to come forward like the bull and stalking and hard hitting and tries to be flashy. And Xavier Martinez has him thinking tonight, has him working.
Still want to see more long shots from Martinez on the outside.
Another solid round for Martinez.
Starts here! Hey, keep lining him with the fucking jab and keep hitting his eye. The eye's getting swollen. Keep looking for it. When you throw a jab, Vaseline to his nose. When you throw that jab, get off the line. Keep lining them. Breathe. Control your breathing. In the nose. I got it.
You're in shape, bro. Come on. All right?
Cut the ring.
Come on, bro. Cut the ring. Put those combinations together. Give me that lift to the body after every combination, bro. It's there for you to land it. Okay, come on, but fucking I'm telling you, forget about him fighting dirty. So who gives a fucking? Let the referees have you fucking do your job. Throw combinations, bully his ass. Back him up. If he backs up, then fucking back him up with combinations. Not just one punch at a time. All right? Let's go. Come on, let's go.
They want more combinations from Xavier Martinez.
I think he's got that in him. You know, he's still kind of ducking and being defensive on the inside. You know, we're more than halfway through the fight now, so it's definitely time to kick into that second gear. Let the combinations go. Good job.
Round 6, this one's scheduled for 10. The 130-pound division. Cortez has spent a lot of the fight, at least the second half of the first 6 rounds, moving around the outside. It's been Martinez kind of pushing the pace, controlling the pace. Not typically what you see in a Cortez fight. Martinez coming forward, throwing shots to the body.
I would still like to see Martinez use a little bit more of the reach that he has. He's got these long arms, and you can see it when he pops that jab out from a distance. He doesn't have to get inside and throw these hooks. I mean, once he's in there, yeah. But from the outside here, he can land. He can land a 1-2.
Double jab from Cortez, and that's something that he hasn't used a lot either, is the jab in the last round or 2.
Yeah, he's looking for that counter hook just like he threw just now. But it's the jab. It's the jab. He's got to get on the jab. And he can make this fight 10 times easier. Martinez's corner saying cut the ring off, stepping over. He's moving to the right. He wants him to step over and drop that right hand in.
Well, then something that Martinez told us he wanted to do too and show in this fight was, you know, showing the angles and being able to cut off the ring and make Cortez feel his hooks. And I don't think the feints have been present very much, but nonetheless, I mean, he's having right now to kind of cut off the ring and push Cortez into that corner like he does there.
Yeah, when you're hunting someone down like this and you're trying to get them and they're constantly circling and moving, you can't just walk. They're going to time you. You can't just walk towards them without any fakes, without any head movement, without any footwork. You got to make yourself elusive and unpredictable, or they're just going to take a step over and keep moving every time you try and let your hands go.
A nice shot landed there, just like that. Right on cue, Michaela.
Stay smart. He's getting frustrated. Get him frustrated. Keep playing with him. He's going to look for the big shots. Please, on your defense, you can't get afford to get hit. You hear me?
Keep working that midsection, that
Yes.
body, man. Come
Yes.
on. And those
But be
12
first
come out,
sometimes, champ.
right?
Okay? We need to win these rounds clean.
You guys are holding. No. Start up with just touch, and then finish with the hard punches at the end. Don't throw that hard punch at first, because it's going to make you miss, and you guys are going to hold, and then it's over. Come on. You gotta show us more, bro. Come on. This is not it. Come on, bro. This guy's not in the level. Let's go. This guy's
backwards.
That last round, round 6, was pretty even. Looking at the CompuBox numbers, 48 punches for Martinez, 46, both landing 16 and then 13 punches. So really even round there in round 6. So as we turn to round 7, see if either fighter can make an adjustment here, because a lot of these rounds have been close, have been back and forth. I think Martinez had a clear round 4. Cortez started the fight well, but there has to be some adjustment made for one of these fighters to try to pull away.
Again, just a little slow and flat-footed from Martinez, who's trying to close that space on Cortez, who's become a mover, become a boxer mover.
And for Cortez, who has said a nice combination there lands on Martinez, who says he's had Martinez on his radar for the last year, that he wants to fight him, and then he wants to take a step up against one of the champions in the division. I would think that you would have a game plan executed, or excuse me, a game plan in mind and making some adjustments because you're familiar with Martinez, but I haven't seen any changes really from him from round 1 to round.
Ooh, big gash under the eye of Martinez.
He is cut bad.
He was already welting up earlier in the fight, but it looks like it's been cut open.
And it was Cortez who suffered a big cut in his last fight.
You know, I know we didn't expect this fight from Cortez, boxing and movie, but it's working. You know, Martinez isn't really closing that space in a smart, tactical way. And he's just getting caught with little shots. And Cortez is keeping that perfect space. He's a shorter fighter with a shorter reach, and he's able to keep that space and box and move circles around him right now.
Martinez having to stop and follow Cortez around as he does some movements with his feet, but still not letting his hands go as he comes forward with the shoulder on the eye that is cut open underneath that left eye of Martinez. But if you're Cortez, like you're still not letting your hands go right now. And that's the part that boggles me.
He's winning the fight though. He's picking them and he's moving and he's winning the fight. And you know, maybe he felt Martinez's power at the beginning, and this is how he's adjusting by boxing and moving and not staying in there with him. Martinez though has got to continue to let combinations go like that. He can't just look for one punch. Now, some may argue Cortez is running.
Which the guys one after the combination, and the other one can just move around the outside. It's like, what do you favor, what do you like, I guess, but at the same time, I mean, I've called a lot of Cortez's fights, and that's not particularly, you know, the style where that he's shown, and that's the cut by a punch. A right hand gets right through the guard there. That was a beautiful shot, Michaela.
See, he tries to come back, but he's too defensive. Martinez is just too defensive. He's not letting those shots go quick enough.
Bro, you're not trying anything, bro.
He should be punching right off of this. Instead, he just sort of stays in his shell, lets Cortez get up underneath him.
Just get that in here, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, here it is, bro. You want me to just call it out?
Yeah, they're going to just have the doctor come up and take a good look at it.
Stay sharp, stay smart, champ. Let's go.
Yeah, thankfully with the spot, you know, I guess if you have to get cut around your eye, under is going to be better than over right on your eyelid where it's going to bleed into your eye.
Yeah, unless it swells up so much.
I think they're going to stop the fight.
It's off.
They're going to stop the fight there. The corner and the doctor came up on the apron. And in fact, Robert Garcia has decided that it was enough after looking at that eye. And I had to get confirmation on that.
I mean, Robert Garcia has been in the game a long time. You know, he knows his stuff. And he's looking out for his fighter. Big right hand, right through the center of his gloves. Just roughing him up on the inside. He's been doing that the entire fight. Yeah, he started boxing and moving, but the second he gets in there, he's throwing body shots, pushing him back, roughing him up, not letting him get his shots back.
And a visibly disappointed Xavier Martinez, as I felt like he gave a valiant effort in the fight. I mean, I definitely thought through those 7 rounds he was in the fight for sure. I didn't think it was a one-sided fight either way. And obviously, I trust Robert Garcia and what he sees and what the doctor saw and what they decided to do. But I I do feel like he was still very much in the fight at that point, but what I see matter? It really doesn't at the end of the day. I mean, Andres Cortez walks away with his 20th professional win of his career.
Yeah, I don't know. Martinez just seemed just a little slow tonight. Just the tad behind everything that Cortez was doing.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to hear, and I just got also just double checked with the doctor, and he said, yeah, I did not stop the fight at all. That the corner decided to stop the fight, so that was a decision made by Xavier Martinez' corner, Robert Garcia, and team, his father, also in his corner. So I think they're going to do some interviews in the ring, and if Xavier Martinez stays or Robert stays, I'm interested to hear. Here's Mark Chinook to make this one official.
Here inside the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. This fight comes to a halt at the conclusion of the 7th round at the request of the blue corner. Therefore, your winner by technical knockout and still U.S. WBC Silver Junior Lightweight Champion, Andres "Savage" Cortez.
And your winner by TKO tonight, Andres Cortez, 20-0 with 11 KOs. And I got just a quick word with Robert, because I'm right here in his corner, and I said, "Did you decided to stop the fight?" And he said yes. He didn't like what he saw from his fighter. It wasn't even specifically for the cut. He just didn't like what he saw.
Yeah, I think that if Martinez was up on the scorecards and he was winning that fight, then maybe he would have let him go and try and survive the cut. But I think he saw that he was just getting outworked and outboxed a little bit, and was already behind, didn't have a chance of winning unless he had a knockout, and he could barely see out of that eye at that point.
Yeah, and he knows his fighter best. He knows his fighter more than anyone.
You did with that right hand that opened up the cut, but it was a close fight up to then. Walk us through your victory tonight.
I mean, I was feeling myself. I started finding a groove, and when that happens, the fight's over. And I need to say something. I want the winner of Navarrete Valdez. I want any champion at 130. If not, I'm gonna move up to 135 and to get all those champions there.
How do you get a world title opportunity? Performances like this will obviously help, but how do you assure yourself climbing up the ranks?
They're gonna need a fucking army to stop me.
All right. So we know what you want next. What did you think of the stoppage?
It was a good stoppage. His eye was messed up. I think he was having trouble seeing with the eye because he kept blinking at me. I don't know if that's because he liked me, but he kept blinking at me.
All right, so we look forward to seeing what's next for you. Robert Garcia is the man who stopped the fight, and he has left the ring with Xavier Martinez, Joe.
All right, and then we just got to look at these scorecards right now, because I have the benefit of being able to share that with you while we go over this recap of the fight. Cortez was actually down on one of the scorecards at the time of the stoppage. Interesting, very interesting. Michaela, go ahead and take us through this one.
Yeah, Cortez started off at the very beginning just coming at Martinez with big combinations, trying to close that space. Once he got to the inside, he was letting his hands to the body go, big combinations to the head, and Martinez just wasn't matching it all that well. He started meeting him with shots like that, that right uppercut to the body, which is where he had his most success, and I think even hurt Cortez with a couple of those shots on the inside. That's when Cortez sort of got on his bike, started moving, started dancing around the ring. But I think there's too many moments like that where Martinez just kind of hid behind his shell and let Cortez steal moments in the fight. Just kind of getting inside and roughing him up, using a little bit of dirty tricks in there, trying to keep Martinez uncomfortable.
And in fact, he definitely made Martinez feel uncomfortable, so much so in his corner, so that Robert Garcia decided to stop the fight. Now, just quickly as I take a look at the scorecards, Andres Cortez was up 5-2 and 4-3 on 2 of the scorecards, but Cortez was down on the 3rd scorecard 3-4. So with still another 3 rounds left. I mean, it was still a close fight. It wasn't a one-sided, lopsided decision. So I'm a little bit perplexed, but nonetheless, I mean, Robert Garcia is one of the best trainers in the game. So he knows his fighter better than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, on the scorecards, I guess he was clearly still in it, but Robert Garcia just told us he didn't like what he was seeing.
Yep. So up next is our main event. Seniesa Estrada looking to defend her WBC, WBA minimum weight world title against Leonela Yudica. And here's a little bit more from Seniesa Estrada, who she fights for, her motivation, and what's behind her nickname in the cape with Super Bad. Take a listen.
Oh, and Estrada caught her swinging, and down she goes!
I fight for the 8-year-old me, who started boxing when women's boxing was kind of non-existent. I fight for that little girl who wanted to just come into the boxing world and just break down barriers for young girls like herself and for all women out there.
Oh, my word! And they will wave it off! A straight left hand does the trick for Seniesa! Super Bad!
I think she fights for herself. She's trying to prove something to the world, and that she is the best pound-for-pound female fighter in the world.
So these 2 capes I wore in my 2 world title fights. So the cape idea comes from my trainer, Dean, who is a huge Elvis fan. Elvis wore capes. So with the name Super Bad, what better outfit than boxing trunks and a cape? The name Super Bad came from Sugar Ray Leonard. They used to call Sugar Ray Leonard Super Bad in the gym when he was a kid. And I've read his book plenty of times, and that's where he talks about being called Super Bad. You know, I started my career fighting on small shows and undercards and then with Top Rank, and I stopped to think about that the other day. I was like, man, like, be able to just continue my career and end it with Top Rank it's amazing. What more can I ask for?
I think she's just getting started. I think she's just now coming into her prime, and I think that that's the dangerous part for all these other fighters out there. I just don't think anybody can beat her.
She has a lot of heart, she has a lot of intelligence, and she has discipline. And when you put all those things together, she has the passion. And the thing is, she doesn't want to lose, she wants to win. The peak for her, I would love for her to be the pound-for-pound #1 in the world. Hopefully, we could sneak into that spot one day.
This is just the beginning. Yeah, I have 3 titles, 3 different divisions, but to me, that's just the start. There's more things that I want to accomplish, and having all the bouts in 3 different divisions is something that I really want to accomplish in my career. And I think once I do that, then maybe after that, I'll think to myself, okay, I accomplished something.
Seniesa Estrada, Super Bad, tonight in her 4th defense of her WBA title and 1st defense of the WBC minimum weight title that she won in her last fight against Tina Ruprecht, which was a phenomenal performance. You and I had the pleasure of calling that fight, and in fact, Michaela, that might have been her best overall career performance.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely up there. She showed, you know, she's been doing stuff like that, but I think that she's been struggling because she just feels like she hasn't been fighting as often as she's wanted to. You know, the last contract she was stuck in, and the world hasn't gotten to see everything that she can do. So last fight with Ruprecht was definitely, she really made a statement there and was able to show the world, like, hey, I'm here, I'm the top pound-for-pound fighter. And she's here to stay. She's the best, and she wants to show that again tonight.
Here is a conversation with Seniesa Estrada and ESPN's own Mark Kriegel. Take a listen.
This is what I was born to do, and this is my destiny, and you cannot stop destiny.
Seniesa Estrada had a vision.
I was born to fight. When I was 6 years old, I thought to myself, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Some years earlier, in a drug-addicted haze, her father had a vision.
God telling me that he had a plan for her, and that she needed it.
This is how their visions came together.
Who is Puppet?
Joe Estrada, before my daughter was born, was little puppet from the Primera Flats gang. Convict, heroin addict, alcoholic, you name it, nothing good.
What's the closest you came to death?
I've been stabbed, I've been shot. I got hit with a crowbar.
Actually, the closest he came to death might have been the early 90s, when Seniesa was still a toddler.
She was only maybe 2 years old. Her mother ended up leaving me. She took the kids. I was devastated, man. Got deep, really deep into drugs. That I was trying to kill myself.
You start to OD, and you see a vision of your daughter in a bonnet.
When she was born, when I went to the hospital, her mom had her with a little bonnet, and it was a pink little bonnet. I saw that vision.
He knew I needed him. He knew he had to be there.
It took a while, but he finally kicked. On weekends, his kids came over to watch the fight.
I looked over and I said, Dad, do girls box?
Yeah, sure, girls can box. So, can I box? So I finally did take her, and I says, hey, do you train kids? And he's like, oh, no, we don't train girls.
It just crushed me. I was so sad.
Eventually, though, they showed up at the Hollenbeck Youth Center.
My dad still didn't want me fighting, and he told my trainer, can you put her in the ring to spar with this boy so he can beat her up, make her cry?
So they start fighting. Boom, and he hits her right in the stomach. She holds her stomach, and I said, that's it. It's done. She's gonna quit. She's gonna quit. She took a breath. She put her hands down, and she rushed that kid and just pounded on him.
He leaves the gym, and he never comes back. That's the moment I changed my dad's life.
I saw something in her eyes that I used to have in my eyes. That's when I really
Making her way to the ring. Sorry to cut that feature short, but we got one half of our main event making her way. The challenger tonight, Leonela Yudica, making her way to the ring out of Argentina. Ranked the WBA number 6 at 105 pounds. Also top 5 in the IBF and WBC at 108. This, in fact, is the third weight class she's going to fight in her last 3 fights. She's the former IBF flyweight champion. She had 9 successful defenses of that title before losing her title and then subsequently going down in weight in her next fight. And now once again in this fight. And in order to become a world champion in another weight class, she's going to have to go through this woman right here, because this is the champ, Seniesa Superbad Estrada. Big fight weekend here in Las Vegas. It's the ladies that are headlining on a Friday night. Another unified champion stepping into the ring tonight. Seniesa Superbad Estrada.
Seniesa Estrada versus Leonela Yudica tonight for the WBA and WBC minimum weight title. The biggest difference here, despite Leonela coming down from the higher weight class, is the knockout rate. 9 KOs to just 1 in Yudica.
Casino Resort in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. Presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum. And brought to you this evening by AutoZone. Get in the zone. And by Bud Light, the official beer of celebrations. We are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Executive Director Jeff Mullen, Chairman Anthony A. Marnell III. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. David Obert, Dr. Jay Coates, Dr. Tristan Cooper, and Dr. Brandon Sneed. Your timekeepers this evening, James Cavan and Richard Urquides. Our judges for this main event, Max DeLuca, Chris Migliori, and Steve Weisfeld. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Alan Huggins. And now, to everyone watching on ESPN Plus, and to everyone here inside the Palms Casino. 10 rounds for the WBC, WBA, and Ring Magazine Minimum Weight Championships of the world. And as always, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. And oh, baby, this is the main event. Introducing first out of the Bud Light blue corner. She weighed in at 103.7 pounds. Wearing black and sky blue trunks. Her record, 19 victories with only 1 defeat, 3 draws, 1 no contest. One of those victories coming by way of knockout. She is the former IBF flyweight champion of the world, making her 12th world title appearance from San Juan, Argentina, Leonela Yudica. Introducing out of the red corner. She weighed in at 104.4 pounds, wearing red trunks with gold trim. Her record, perfect. 24 fights, 24 victories, 9 of those victories coming by way of knockout. She is the former WBO light flyweight champion of the world. She is making her 4th world title defense. She is one of boxing's pound for pound queens. She is the reigning, defending WBA, WBC, Ring Magazine Minimum Weight Champion of the world from East Los Angeles, California, Seniesa Estrada!
Okay, you both been given instructions in the dressing room. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up. Let's go. All right.
All right, Alan Huggins, the third man in the ring tonight. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayer here with you on commentary. Our main event tonight, 2 straps up for grabs in the minimum weight division. Seniesa's WBA and WBC and Ring Magazine, in fact, titles on the line. Leonela Yudica, fighting out of Argentina, has fought in 10 world championship fights. She is well versed in her own right. 19-1-3 with 1 no contest and 1 knockout. But Seniesa Estrada is a very special fighter. Her style is unique. She can switch orthodox and southpaw seamlessly. She works great angles, great footwork, and has 9 knockouts to her credit in her 24 victories. Yudica likes to box and move, and one thing I don't think is very smart of her is to continue to inch herself back to the rope. She likes to do this, and that is exactly where Seniesa wants her. She's worked on cutting the ring off. She knew that she was going up against a mover, which is something that she hasn't gone up against a lot. She usually can't fight to or stand right in there with her. Body shot lands for Estrada with the right hand. Again down to the body with the right hand. She starts in the orthodox position. Now she switches southpaw. She wants to close this space smart. She mentioned in the beginning she doesn't want to get caught with any counters from Yudica. You can see she leaps in. Yudica telling us yesterday she knows it's going to be a difficult test, but she sees weaknesses in Estrada. She feels that she has the skills, not only physically, but mentally, to defeat her tonight. She has her backed into the corner here, does Estrada. She said one of those weaknesses in Estrada is her switching, which I don't necessarily agree. I think it's very sneaky. She does it very well. She's been doing it since she was a kid. It just comes naturally to her. Body work early from Estrada. Estrada's got great looping hooks from the outside. She doesn't have to be in close range to land them. Body shot lands there for Yudica. Let's listen into the Estrada corner. Her trainer, Dean Campos.
Close to her stomach. And then with her short punch to her body. All right? Breathe. And then go under. Look, you're scoring, and then you're stepping back. You throw a long right hand that caught you early. You can't do that. Flip to the inside, and then rip that body stop.
And there is the Yudica corner. Her uncle is her trainer.
Este round tuvo parejo. Se lo van a dar a ella. Ahora tengo que remontar en él. ¿De acuerdo? Ahora.
There is the next generation of fighters out here supporting Super Bad. And I mean, this is what representation is all about, being able to see somebody like yourself in a position that you want and aspire to be in. Round 2, let me remind you quickly, these are 2-minute rounds in women's boxing. They go by real quick, and this is a championship fight, only a 10-rounder for the women in this championship fight.
You see quick little slick movements from side to side from Seniesa, not letting her opponent know when or how she's going to attack. And Yudica can be tricky because she'll inch herself back to the ropes, like she's going to box and move, and then she'll leap in with big shots. She'll attack with 3 or 4 looping punches, just like that, over the top.
Heads come together there.
And that's exactly what Seniesa's been training and working on not getting caught with.
Down to the body with the right hand goes Yudica. Up top, Estrada. Yudica looking to land the uppercut. She gets caught by a right hand, and a left hand connects for Yudica. And Michaela, at this point, it looks like she's confident being able to try to stand in there and exchange with the champ.
Yeah, you know, I honestly wasn't expecting to see or hear a lot of pop coming from Yudica, but she does have pop.
Well, she's coming down from a bigger weight class as well.
She is coming down from a bigger weight class. She was fighting a
good shot there.
She definitely looks like the bigger girl in the ring tonight.
Yudica coming down from 113 pounds, 112, 106, and then weighed in at only 103 yesterday on the scales. But she said part of that's because her last fight was only 3 months ago. Toe-to-toe they go here in round 2. She catches the champ with the shot.
Yeah, that's Yudica's favorite shot so far that I can see. She likes to inch herself back, let Seniesa gain that confidence, and then drop a big overhand right.
Yep, it connects there once again. Solid round for the challenger. And she ate a right hand after the bell, too. That was a late shot from Seniesa.
Yeah, she looked frustrated. Is that why?
Yeah, Seniesa caught her with the right hand after the bell.
Good counter over the top from both of them. They both threw the same exact shot.
Yudica's just landed more flush there.
Yudica's head was tucked.
Yep.
You know, she knows that she's being hunted. You know, Seniesa's coming for her. So she tucked that head really, really low. That can be dangerous because she's also vulnerable for an uppercut. Good thing Seniesa didn't throw that uppercut. But nonetheless, she dodged that right hand a little bit better than Seniesa did that exchange.
There's a look into the Yudica corner.
Ahora soltate, disfrutalo a combate. Viste que no le gusta que le peguen abajo. Acá le metiste un cross y se le nublaron los ojos.
Her corner urging her to be first as they come out here in round 3. These 2-minute rounds go so quickly. Seniesa now switching back to southpaw, now back to orthodox as she gets caught with the left hand again from Yudica. Now Seniesa going to the body.
Sneaky body shot underneath there from Seniesa.
That one lands clearly.
From the right and the left hand.
Nice 3-punch combination from the champ.
Yudica sneaking in with that right uppercut, long right uppercut from the back, which Seniesa said she was going to do. So I heard her in the fighter meeting saying she's going to try and reach in with that long uppercut from the outside.
Estrada pushing forward. Estrada landing an uppercut, and Yudica looking fine and very confident. with Estrada.
Yes, Estrada looks like she's landing hard shots, but Yudica's not letting herself get bullied by them. She's coming right back with her own.
Body shot connects for...
They're both throwing great shots to the body, hard shots to the body.
Yudica, and then Estrada comes back up top. Estrada down to the body with the left hand.
Good one, too, from Yudica from the outside.
Estrada down to the body and gets just out of range, catches some of those shots on her shoulder. Doesn't want to get caught going straight back, though.
Women's fights can sometimes be so tricky to score because you know you only have 2-minute rounds, so a lot of these times they're throwing at the exact same time.
Good fight so far.
Yeah,
land the punch as you come out.
I'm not gonna lie. I think
Every time you punch,
Udica's
you're
given
going up to the body,
us a
and the
more
right to the body, you're
competitive
standing
fight
straight
than I would have thought.
You can't do that. You got to go here, boom,
Just
and go
only
back
because
She's a
and then
former
come up.
world champion. You know, she's had successful
Look,
defenses.
draw
The only
right hand,
problem has
slip to the
been
inside, go to the body. And then stay
when
down.
she's come to the
and then
United
stay
States.
right
Now
underneath
she's
her,
suffered her
right?
only loss.
She can't
In a
fight by
match she
close,
felt
that's
she
why she's
won.
trying to hold you.
That's true. I think I'm just a little bit deceived by the only one KO and all that time because in this ring now, and especially seeing how strong and gritty Seniesa has been in her last few fights.
It's 2-1 right now.
But Yudica here, you can hear some of her power shots. You can hear the
and then
pop.
catch her up, but then drop. And then move around, get around her. Move towards her quick and then back out.
Dean encouraging Seniesa in the corner there to get her work in and then get right back out. Don't stand there after you throw your shots.
Seniesa literally ran from her corner to the center of the ring.
Oh, she's taking some shots up top from Yudica. Down to the body with the left hand.
Good turn off from Seniesa right back to the center of the ring. She likes to lead with that hook, and it lands, but Yudica's coming back with the right hook of her own.
Oh, big shot, catches Seniesa not exchange, and then she answers back with the left. She catches her right there with the left hand, does Estrada. Estrada's jab in her last fight was so beautiful, and she did such good body work, but her jab was just consistent throughout the whole fight. And I feel like maybe she would fare better to continue to use that jab because Yudica's coming forward with multiple shots each time.
Well, she admitted in that fight, that last fight where she used her jab, that was a big part of the game plan that she doesn't normally do. She likes to be an exciting fighter. She likes to let her combinations go, and she doesn't like to rest behind the jab. So it was different for her to do that in the last fight. And I don't necessarily think that was the game plan for this one.
Body with the right hand leads that combination.
Good right hook to the body from Seniesa on the inside. Yudica looks very relaxed, ready to counter.
Oh yeah, she looks strong tonight. She is taking it to the champ. Estrada looking to work her way inside. But she's getting caught with counter shots, Michaela.
She is getting caught with some counter shots. You got to give Yudica her pop. She's meeting her. She's meeting her with just as many combinations and just as hard.
Bien. Está apretada la pelea, loca. Está apretada, está muy apretada. Está contra incómoda ella.
And there's a shot of Keyshawn Davis, who has come to watch the fights tonight. Sat next to Bob Arum. And I'm sure he'll be watching his stablemate tomorrow in action. Keyshawn Davis is trained by the same trainers as Terrence Bud Crawford. Keyshawn looks pretty good in his last performance last weekend in
Big left
Oklahoma.
hook from Yudica here. Seniesa tried to come back with her own. And this is that right uppercut that Seniesa was talking about in the fighter meeting. She dodged it too. She knew that was coming from Yudica. She trained for it. It's a sneaky right uppercut coming from a long distance. I think the trick right now, they're both throwing looping shots. They're both great at landing some really, really strong hooks. I think it's time for some straight shots right down the middle. The straight shots will beat the hooks. Gotta watch out for some headbutts too. They're both coming in really close with their heads.
Watch your head. Watch your head. All right.
And Yudica is leading a lot with her head too. She comes in leaned over a lot of the time, which you mentioned earlier. She's got to be wary of the uppercut from Estrada.
Yeah, her head is right down.
Okay? Go ahead on the break. All right, you okay? All right, let's go. Box.
Leonela Yudica is tough. I mean, has a really solid game plan that she's came tonight, and if you thought she was just going to box and move and be technical around the outside, which she has shown is a lot more of her style than, to Michaela's point, than to sit in there and bang. Maybe she feels like she's got to go in there and take it to the champ, being that she's in enemy territory.
She does know that, and she said that too earlier this week. She said, I know I cannot afford to lose any part of any round.
And she's fighting like it.
She's fighting like that. You know what? She's also Argentinian. And I fought a handful of Argentinians, and they are tough fighters. They were tough back in the amateurs. They always had a good national team. And the few that I've seen in the pros, also tough.
And down to the body with that combination goes Estrada. Estrada has landed 19 body shots through the first 5 rounds of this fight. Just out of harm's way of that wide hook from Yudica.
Dodged that big one too.
Better round for Estrada here in round 5.
You know what I'm talking about?
Let's listen in.
Look at Estrada. If you come over here, he's gonna throw a bunch of punches. Keep dipping and jam her with your shoulders. Look at. Remember this? When she starts punching, go into her with your shoulder. That's gonna knock her off balance because she's throwing winging punches. And when she falls off balance, then you go after her, but you gotta stay low all the time. Don't get greedy trying to throw a bunch of combinations. This is not the fight for that.
Vos movete, boxear, vos monte boxear. Trabajarle al contragolpe vos. ¿Me entendés? Pero cuando ella se te venga, vos tenés que trabajar. Cuando ella se te venga, tenés que trabajar.
Estamos 4 y 5 golpes a la vez.
Vamos.
And just like that, we're getting into the second half of the fight now. Round 6 coming up, the scheduled 10-round championship fight. And what I think is probably a tougher fight than perhaps Estrada expected style-wise coming into this fight.
Yeah, I still want to see some more straight punches. I feel like because they're both hooking, like I said, the straight punches are going to get there quicker.
Oh, a nice left hand lands for Estrada.
And Estrada has surprisingly long arms for her size. Big hooks on the inside.
And that time she threw her shots and then leaned down, exactly what her trainer Dean told her to do. Throw the shots and then dip down, don't stand tall, exactly like that, exactly the instructions that her corner gave her at Dean Campos.
She loves catching and throwing that left hook. She'll stand right there and meet her opponent with that left hook. He also said her Seniesa's corner not to get greedy. Don't try and take too many punches. Get your shots off and then get back off the line.
Estrada with the up jab with the right hand. Body shot lands with the left for Estrada.
Yudica's whipping around that back hook. She's got the left hook and that back hook.
Down to the body. She goes, Yudica looking to counter with those wide hooks. May have caught her with one on that exchange.
Yeah, Yudica runs forward with her shots, try and close that space. Very, very international type thing to do. That long uppercut again from the outside. Good body shot from Seniesa, come over the top of the right hand.
seconds left here in round 6. Estrada's really picked up the work rate these last 2 rounds. Nico Ali Walsh in the building. He's fighting on the Jared Anderson card in Tulsa. Rolly Rolando Romero, WBA 140-pound world champion here.
I love seeing all these men come out to this female championship fight.
Devin Haney was here. Emiliano Vargas in the building. Keyshawn Davis. There is Bruce Shushu Carrington, one of Tim Bradley's double stamp prospects and one of my favorite young fighters, as I mentioned too, Devin Haney. Sticking around, taking pictures with the young fighters. I love that. Definitely has the feel here in Vegas of a big fight weekend, and these ladies have put on quite a show here through the first 6 rounds of this scheduled 10-rounder. But Seniesa Estrada has thrown 338 punches to 298 from Yudica. She's landing at a 29% clip compared to 24% from Yudica. She's thrown more, she's landed more, and she's thrown at a higher percentage connect rate. Oh, left-handed gets in for Yudica, though.
Still big shots coming from both. You can tell both these girls are in tremendous shape. They're still letting their hands go, and they're also able to take these shots. Good long straight left in the southpaw stance to the body.
Back to the orthodox stance for Estrada. Oh, left hand connects for Estrada. Yudica's work rate slowing down just a bit here.
Estrada's work rate never slows down.
She's picked it up.
Continues to get better, and he punches going. Took her right hand right there. Yudica just looking to wait and meet her with that right hand. That's why she's inching herself back to the ropes. And then she doesn't just meet her, she steps in with her shots and almost runs forward with them.
Good second half to this round for the challenger. Yudica pouring it on now. Yeah, these ladies are in a fight right now. And you can tell Seniesa Estrada in the corner is understanding that this is a tough fight right now. She's got some swelling under her left eye.
Shoulder to and slide under to the right.
Both throwing the jab at the same time, coming in with the same shots, but their heads almost collide. Just dodging each other's head right there. Yudica comes over with her big right hands, both swinging for big hooking shots.
And then Seniesa actually connects with this left hand right there at the end of that highlight. She did get the left hand in there on the end of that exchange, and then just pause right there with the right hand that scores.
Comes back with that jab at the end.
Fuck the body shot. She's not even just throw one body shot. Just pick your hand up high and then pull out. But stay underneath afterwards.
There's Yudica jumping in with that right hand again. She can be sneaky at times. Seniesa just keeping her off her rhythm by popping shots, even if they're just hit her gloves.
Dean Campos telling Seniesa Estrada that he wants her to go back to the body more in this round. Just one body shot in each of the last 2 rounds has landed for Estrada, albeit more, double the amount of body shots landed for Estrada than Yudica through the first 7 rounds of the fight.
Well, Yudica's also ducking, right? She's jumping in, her head's down, she's ducking into these shots, and so that means her body is vulnerable. They may miss the shots to the head, but her body's going to be right there.
Estrada takes a body shot with the right hand. Shots up top connect for Yudica, and Estrada answers back with the right. Jab with the left hand for Estrada.
Lots of feints from Estrada, trying not to let her know when she's going to come in and close the distance.
And she still gets caught with the right hand.
I mean, every time, it's so different watching a female fight versus a man's fight, because usually you can see who's throwing, and then, you know, you see their opponent come back, whereas here in a female fight, knowing they only have 2 minutes, they're both letting their hands go at the exact same time.
So what do you see? Which one lands more clear? What side are you sitting on?
It goes back and forth. Yudica's getting a lot of her shots in. I think that Estrada is landing a little bit more clearly, especially in the second half of this fight. But nonetheless, you have to watch out for Yudica's shots, because she'll just run in and sneak that right hand and sneak that right uppercut in from a long distance. She sort of runs forward with it. Her back foot will come with her. And they get in that pocket, both throwing hooks.
And you can tell that right hand had an effect, because right now they're working on the left eye, which has some significant swelling under it for Estrada.
You look spectacular the next time. That shoe slide was a beautiful thing. It just missed.
Big overhand right from Yudica. That's what Estrada's got to look out for, because Yudica's good at really ducking her head, getting her head under the punches.
All right, round 9, these 2 championship rounds here. Remember, 10-round championship fight. The WBC, WBA minimum weight and Ring Magazine titles on the line here. The champ, Seniesa Estrada, in a tough fight tonight against Leonela Yudica, although she has turned it on in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, I think she wants to make it clear. I think she knows that she's gotten into some exchanges, and you never know what the judges are seeing, so she wants to make this clear going into this last few rounds.
Especially being the champion in these championship rounds, you want to make her earn it. You want to make her take and make the judges see that she's got to take those belts from you. That, at least, it seems to be the mentality. You cannot cruise, especially with 2-minute rounds.
I know. I actually just looked down and realized we're already in the 9th round.
There's 3 scheduled minutes left total in the fight. 1 here and 2 minutes in that 10th round. And
good counter right hand from Yudica.
She's put on a heck of a performance as the Argentinian.
There's some long punches coming from her. She really extends her arms. She's got a long reach. She throws her head over to the left side when she tries to land that right hand. She really throws it over so that she can't get tagged with Senesa's.
Nice right hand connects there for Estrada.
I think Seniesa just has the higher work rate, more combinations.
Yes.
You know, she's letting 4 or 5 punch combinations go, whereas Yudica's 2, maybe 3.
That is evident. By the numbers, do back up that statement. For sure, she's thrown and landed more punches, particularly to the body, as well as power shots from Estrada.
Afterwards, you were safe. She couldn't throw anything. All the punches were flying over your head. Stay close and then give me a shot. Stay down. Then give me a shot. Don't go boom, boom, boom.
Sergio Estrada
don't go boom,
getting
boom,
to
boom.
work
Go
on
boom,
that
let her
swelling
punch,
on her
boom,
left eye.
To the body, boom, and then boom. And you keep putting your hands up on either side. All right?
There's a nice left hand that connected for Estrada there.
Yeah, she loves finishing with that left hook. She's really good at it too. Sometimes she'll just sit there and let her opponent walk right into it, but she usually always finishes her combinations with her hook.
This is the 10th and final round of this Unified World Championship fight. The referee making them touch it up, and there's 2 minutes left to go. Starts with 4 jabs from the champ.
I do like when Seniesa jabs. I think that it protects her a little bit more, and she has a good jab. I just think that she doesn't favor it. I think she'd much rather get in there and throw her hooks to the body, finish with the hooks to the head.
There's those hooks. The left hand gets in there at the end of that exchange. Again with the left hand.
With the hook.
Down to the body with the right hand, kills the champ.
Good right hook and left hook to the head.
Feint there for Estrada. Estrada urging Yudica to come forward, which she's pretty much done the entire fight. She has not shied away from action.
She's just so good at sitting there and turning that left hook over. Even from a southpaw stance, she'll just turn that right hook over, throw her head down.
Oh,
just like
nice
that.
counter shot. Beautiful shot from Estrada. Down to the body with the right hand. The champ is finishing strong. 40 seconds left to go in the contest. Double jab, right hand to the body.
A little bit of boxing moving now from Estrada. She's in her rhythm.
Nice right hook,
right
though.
hands from Yudica. You gotta watch out for that right hook. You're right, it's not a right hand, it's a right hook. She's hooking it.
10 seconds left in what has been a great fight between these two ladies who have put on a show here in our main event. The crowd is to their feet.
I think Yudica thinks she got this decision tonight. Yeah, I think she's pretty confident.
But she should be. Win or lose, that was a spectacular fight, a spectacular performance. And you know what? She brought a different style than she typically fights.
Very good fight. A lot of respect for her. I don't think she did quite enough to take the belts from the champ tonight.
But she said, I'm going to be a warrior, and I'm going to leave it all in the ring. And that's exactly what she did. She did leave it all in the ring tonight. And the champ, super bad Estrada, finished strong, particularly that 12th round.
Big hook, looked like it was going to go to the head. Yudica raised her hands to block it, went right down to the body. This time she switches it up, goes to the head. But both have great shots on the inside. A lot of looping shots. Good straight right hand from Estrada, then gets caught with a big long left hook from Yudica. Very similar punch selection from both of them, honestly.
Yep.
They throw it in very different ways, but nonetheless, both had success with their combinations tonight.
Yeah, this was a spectacular fight, though, and a lot of times, like you said, Michaela, they both matched each other with shots. Who's got there first? Whose was more effective and efficient? I think Estrada closed the show strong, but taking a look at these CompuBox numbers, I mean, landing 29 to just 28%, I mean, that's pretty even in terms of efficiency. But the power punches, the edge goes to Estrada. More jabs were landed by Yudica. Also, more body shots landed by Estrada. 30 body shots to 15 for Yudica.
Yeah, close numbers. Close numbers,
which reflected how the fight went. It was a close fight.
But Estrada edged it, as I'd see it on paper. She edged it, but I also felt in the fight she did edge it a little bit. But really competitive fight.
Mark Chinook is in the ring. He has the official decision. The fighters and trainers embrace, as they did put on a great show tonight in our main event. Here is Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, After 10 rounds here inside the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Max DeLuca, Chris Migliori, and Steve Weisfeld all scored the bout 97-93 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC, WBA, minimum weight champion of the world, Seniesa Superbad Estrada!
And Seniesa indeed does get the unanimous decision victory tonight, improving her professional record to 25-0 with 9 knockouts. All 3 judges scoring it the same, 97-93. So 7 rounds going in way of the champ.
Yeah, and I think that was right. They did give Yudica a few of her rounds, which I think it was competitive, and I think that was accurate. But I do agree with the judges. I think that Seniesa just had more combinations, you know. Yudica might have landed a good one too, but Seniesa comes back with 3, 4, 5 punch combinations every time.
And there is Yokasta Valle, who has the other 2 belts in the division. She is in the ring. Perhaps now finally they can get some discussion going. Here's Bernardo with the champ.
What was this fight like for you in the ring?
I knew coming into this fight that she was a boxer. She was going to move away from me. She doesn't come forward much. So preparing for this fight, I just knew that I had to show something different in my style. I mean, my last fight, I fought a good champion who came forward and was aggressive, and I easily outboxed her. And with this fight, she's a boxer and a mover, and I showed, you know, that I can fight any type of style because my style is very versatile. But going into this fight, I knew that she was a natural flyweight, so she's a lot bigger than me physically. So I knew that she was going to be able to hang in there. She's fought very good champions before and always went the distance with them.
This was a war. You have on your face the marks of a big fight, you know, a big opponent. You mentioned she was long, she was fast. How were you able to get inside and overcome those disadvantages?
I definitely just had to use my footwork. I have very good footwork. I had to use my feints and my movement to just make sure I was close enough to land punches and not get countered. I did get countered, of course. It's a fight that's going to happen, but you know, I just continue to improve that I'm the best in this division.
To be the best, your dream is to be undisputed. What do you want next?
I want Yokasta Valle next. I heard she's here tonight.
Right there.
I want Yokasta Valle. I'm the best in this division, and I want to prove it by beating Yokasta Valle. I mean, she could just hand me those belts right now because when we fight, it's going to be bad for her.
Yokasta dice que quiere la pelea contigo y que de una vez le entregues los cinturones porque va a ser malo para ti. ¿Qué dices tú?
Bueno, que no le tengo miedo, por eso es que estoy aquí. Lo que tú tienes, yo lo ocupo, y lo mío, si quieres ser la mejor libra por libra, y vas a tener que ganármelos.
Well, I'm not afraid of you, and look, what you want, I've got, and what you've got, I want. And in order to be the best pound for pound and to call yourself the best of this weight class, you gotta come through me.
Of course, I mean, I've already faced fighters who are better than Yokasta Valle, so it's gonna be an ass beating when I fight her. I'm beating her. Not only am I beating her, I'm beating her trainer, and I'm beating Golden Boy Promotions. Super bad all day. Let's go!
Dice, yo ya he superado a peleadoras mucho mejor que ella. Y esta vez no solamente le voy a ganar a Yokasta, le voy a ganar a su entrenadora y también a Golden Boy Promotions. ¿Qué te parece?
Bueno, yo soy una campeona de verdad, la número 1. He ido a España, Alemania, en todos los países, mientras ella es campeona de casa. Yo he arriesgado y soy campeona en 3 categorías diferentes. Podemos ir a Costa Rica a pelear, por ejemplo, yo lleno estadios, no teatros.
She said, look, I am a champion. I'm a real champion. I have been on the road. I've been to Spain. I've been in America. I've been everywhere to wear my belts in 3 different weight classes. And guess what? You can actually come down to Costa Rica because I fill stadiums, not theaters. So let's get this on. Golden Boy Promotions ya te ha dado el sí para una pelea. Has Golden Boy Promotions given you the go-ahead to negotiate this fight?
Sí, ya he hecho las negociaciones, pero la oferta que me hicieron. Si quieres, se las damos a Seniesa, como dije, allá en Costa Rica.
Because look, I really didn't like the offer they made to me, but you know what? We'll give her the same offer if she wants to go down to Costa Rica. Muchísimas gracias, Yocasta, y esperemos ver ese combate. We hope to see that undisputed battle. All right, and now...
Well done always, Bernardo Osuna. And those are some fighting words. I'm here for it all. They both are champions. They both got the belts. Now, hopefully they can both make the fight happen.
Yeah, I think the issue is money. You know, I don't think Yoka got the offer that she wanted. And now she's trying to twist it and say, well, she needs to come down to Costa Rica. So hopefully those two terms don't stand in the way of getting this fight done. We want to see undisputed champion, and I mean, I want to see those two go at it.
Hey, well, that verbal sparring match was intense. Can you only imagine what the fight would be like when they put all those belts on the line? But tonight, the champion got it done. She was able to close the distance, land some of those hooks, but the challenger, I mean, salute, my hat is off to Yudica, because she made this a heck of a fight, and she landed some solid shots, as was evident on the face of Seniesa Estrada.
Yeah, she had some really great moments in this fight. Great combination. She stood right there in the pocket with Seniesa, as you can see. I think that Seniesa edged it a little bit with her output, and just constantly coming back and finishing with her hook. So congrats to the champ. She did it again.
And still, WBA and WBC and Ring Magazine minimum weight champion. For our entire crew in the truck, what a long week. Kudos to our crews. 3 fights in the last 7 days. I appreciate you all so much. My broadcast partner, Michaela Mayer. Can't wait to hear some fight news from you real soon.
Yes, me too. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
All right, you better text me first. I better not find out on Twitter. For Michaela Mayer, I'm Christina Poncher. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
I think the trick right now, they're both throwing looping shots. They're both great at landing some really, really strong hooks. I think it's time for some straight shots right down the middle. The straight shots will beat the hooks. Gotta watch out for some headbutts too. They're both coming in really close with their heads.
Watch your head. Watch your head. All right.
And Yudica is leading a lot with her head too. She comes in leaned over a lot of the time, which you mentioned earlier. She's got to be wary of the uppercut from Estrada.
Yeah, her head is right down.
Okay? Go ahead on the break. All right, you okay? All right, let's go. Box.
Leonela Yudica is tough. I mean, has a really solid game plan that she's came tonight, and if you thought she was just going to box and move and be technical around the outside, which she has shown is a lot more of her style than, to Michaela's point, than to sit in there and bang. Maybe she feels like she's got to go in there and take it to the champ, being that she's in enemy territory.
She does know that, and she said that too earlier this week. She said, I know I cannot afford to lose any part of any round.
And she's fighting like it.
She's fighting like that. You know what? She's also Argentinian. And I fought a handful of Argentinians, and they are tough fighters. They were tough back in the amateurs. They always had a good national team. And the few that I've seen in the pros, also tough.
And down to the body with that combination goes Estrada. Estrada has landed 19 body shots through the first 5 rounds of this fight. Just out of harm's way at that wide hook from Yudica.
Dodged that big one too.
Better round for Estrada here in round 5.
Wearing white trunks with black trim. His record, 1 victory, 2 defeats, 3 draws. That victory coming by way of knockout from Ebro, Florida, Jalen No Playing Phillips.
All right, gentlemen, fighter chief second, please. Fighter chief second. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. All right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room. Know what I expect. Good, clean fight. Legal punches here for you. Legal punches here for you. Touch, gloves, got to both of you. Right. You ready? You ready? Box. Pull your arm out of there. Let him go. There you go.
Finish up top, Taylor. Don't lean in. Don't lean in. Don't slow yourself. There you go.
There you go. 10 seconds. Stop at the bell.
Good. Behind the net.
Listen for that bell. Stay back in your corner till the bell rings. Box. Watch your heads, guys. Careful with the heads. Time! Get over there. That's right. Take the deep breath. Put the body change. Yes, sir. Deep breath. Time in. Let's go. Box. Keep your mouth closed. Stop. Wait. Hit the inside and start working. Hit the inside and start working. Watch your hands. You all right? Here we go. Watch your hands, guys. Here we go. 10 seconds. Up at the ball. Walk to me. Hands up. Box time. Mouthpiece in, stay in the corner. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. Box. Let's go, hands up. Watch your heads, guys. Let's go, move. Clear out, Marina. Keep that mouth closed, female. Don't leave that mouth closed. Keep that mouth closed. Stay on, stay on. Keep that body. Come on, baby. Keep that body. Last round. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. We're going to touch gloves. Touch gloves, guys. Last round. Here we go. Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, referee Raul Caiz Jr. calls a stop to this bout at 1:11 of round number 4 for your winner by technical knockout, Jalen No Playing Phillips.